meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Since 1966, Louis Cleaning and Restoration has served the Vermillion and Southeast South Dakota area with high-quality work and even higher-quality customer service. At Vermillion's oldest cleaning and restoration company, they pride themselves on providing the best service with friendly, knowledgeable staff. They specialize in cleaning, offering extensive cleaning services with high-powered equipment at an affordable price. Check out their website for a full list of services they offer. And next time you need it clean, call Louis Cleaning and Restoration.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark. All in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Out here, you'll learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed. And you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athletes.
Dakota Dome on H. Lauren Lewis Field. Good evening and welcome to T-Week as we get you set for Friday Night Lights here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live, along with Cole Larsh, Spencer Bewley. Good evening, I'm Heath Nimke, and happy homecoming week. What has been a busy week around Vermillion High School. It all comes down to this moment, wrapping up homecoming week with Friday Night Lights between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs. And what celebration has been so far this week? Well, homecoming week is all about having fun, enjoying time with classmates, making a lot of memories during homecoming week. One of the final memories, if you play on the football team, is winning this game. And it can also be said that this is now the must-win reach part of the season for the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, we talked last week on our pregame show. We talked about last week during the broadcast about these are a few games that were on the schedule. Madison and Milbank, two Bulldog teams that you thought we might have a chance at winning. And then after that performance against the Canton Seahawks, where Vermillion was able to really throw the football, they made their offense look extremely great. Over 30 points in that game, over 350 passing yards. We expected a lot of the same coming up against Madison, and Madison, well, just completely stopped the passing game. Hayden Christopherson just looked completely confused, and give a lot of credit out there to the Madison Bulldogs defensively. Maybe a little bit better athletes. And then on the opposite side, offensively, Ben Brooks, he's a talented athlete. Is he that good? Well, Vermillion sure did make him look like he's one of the top players across all of South Dakota high school football, where he went over a hat trick. 4 touchdowns, including a rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown as Madison was able to get the win over the Vermillion Tanagers last Friday. Now, that being said, it is the Milbank Bulldogs, a Bulldogs team that last year Vermillion won in Milbank in overtime on a converted 2-point conversion. And looking at this Milbank team, this is a team that it's kind of hard to get a read on, if you will, just because they won the opening game of the season just like they beat Lakota Tech 55-0, or I should say just like Vermillion beat Lakota Tech 55-0. Now, Milbank lost in a very close game week 2 against Tri-Valley 14-13. But this is where things get a little hairy, if you will. Milbank comes in 2-2 on this season. They also beat Grow in Area 32-28 back on the 13th, and then lost to Del Rapids last week 42-7. But going back, they've had Lakota Tech on their schedule, Tri-Valley, who just moved up to Class A this year, Grow in Area, who is a Class B team, get to play Vermillion tonight, then Sisseton and Aberdeen Roncalli after this Vermillion game. A little bit more of, well, if you will, Class 11B teams, easier of a schedule for the Milbank Bulldogs. So this is a game that, looking on film, you would say Vermillion does have a chance at winning this game. And again, for the Vermillion Tanagers, they are at that must-win part of their season if they want to make the postseason. Not only do they need to win against Milbank tonight, but then looking ahead to the rest of their schedule, still 2 top 5 teams in the mix, including next week here at home in the Dome against number 1 Sioux Falls Christian, on the road against Tri-Valley, home against Dakota Valley, and again West Central on Thursday evening, a team right now not in the top 5. They are also 2-2, but it's always been a tough game for Vermillion to find a win against West Central, especially when it's at UTET Stadium in Hartford, South Dakota. So, again, yes, it is a must-game win tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers on homecoming week. Again, joined with Cole Larsch and Spencer Bewley, I'm Heath Nimke. It is time for our first time out. We have a lot to get to coming up here on the pregame show, including we'll sit down with head coach Tom O'Boyle and also Mick Thompson of the Milbank Bulldogs will join us here on the pregame show. We'll also take a look at scores and the standings from around the state of South Dakota, what we have coming up for tonight, and the recent media poll, and agreeing or disagreeing with the teams inside the top 5. That is all yet to come up live here from the Dakota Dome. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we do take a look at the standings and the games of the week. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and Go Tanagers. When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Give it off to Cisse, gliding to the basket. Out to 3, Jay Hayes. Good. And Eric Glenn wants to stop the music.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Core Cares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Now careful, this next topic could get a little controversial because we're going to get into what's going on in Class A and the standings across the state of South Dakota. We'll try to keep it PG. And other conversations, it has been maybe at points rated R when it comes to the media standings, as both Cole and myself are participating, and sometimes we have different opinions when it comes to what we believe should be happening in the overall rankings. But nonetheless, welcome back to H. Lauren Lewis Field inside the Dakota Dome on Homecoming Week T Week here in Vermillion, South Dakota. Let's get into what we are seeing across the state of South Dakota. And as always, we'll begin in Class 11A when it comes to high school football. One game is already final here in Class 11A. St. Thomas More beat Lakota Tech 69-0. Another game coming up at 6 o'clock, kicking off tonight. Fouche and Mobridge Pollock will kick off again at 6 o'clock. Otherwise, this one also kicks off at 6 o'clock. Custer takes on Dakota Valley and Lennox. Tri-Valley versus Del Rapids. West Central versus Canton. And Sioux Falls versus Madison. and Rapid City takes on Hot Springs. When it comes to the media standings, there's an outright number 1 now, which is Sioux Falls Christian. Lennox is 2. Canton is now 3 after dropping out of the first place position when we saw them a couple weeks ago. Dakota Valley number 4, Del Rapids number 5, and still receiving votes is Tri-Valley. When it comes to the top 8 to make the playoffs, Sioux Falls Christian's number 1, Dakota Valley number 2, Del Rapids is also number 2, courtesy of the PowerPoints. Canton is number 4, Lennox number 5, Milbank number 6, number 7, Tri-Valley, and West Central is number 8. When looking at these two teams, Vermillion is in there at number 10. Again, Milbank sits inside the playoff picture at the moment at 6 when it comes to the overall PowerPoints. Cole, your first take, the big games that you're watching in Class 11A for tonight.
Well, I think just overall looking at this media poll, is I actually agree with it 100%. This is exactly what I put. I mean, I really have no comments. Sioux Falls Christian, unanimous number 1 after their big win last week. They've shown that they're going to be the team to beat this year in Class 11A. Beginning of the year, we weren't really sure. Will Canton bring back? Will Lennox be up there to compete? West Central looked pretty good. But so far, 4-0, Sioux Falls Christian. They beat West Central, they beat Lennox, and they beat Canton. Their 2 tests late in the season. They travel to Del Rapids, and they travel to Dakota Valley. Those will be their last 2 contests for that one. Until then, barring some disastrous game from Sioux Falls Christian, I don't see them really coming down from this top spot. Overall, I think this is a really nice poll by the 20 voting members of the South Dakota media.
What about the game or games of the night in Class 11A? I think obviously Lennox and Dakota Valley will certainly be a big one to watch. This one as well, just for Milbank. The rest of their schedule does play some Class 11B teams. That's courtesy of the NEC conference that they play in, that they're trying to have them play more NEC teams than they are Class 11A teams. But looking ahead, what are the games to watch for tonight?
Well, I think one that really interests me is the Sioux Falls Christian-Madison game, not necessarily to see what Sioux Falls Christian is going to do, but how Madison responds after the win last week, and see, like, this is almost a stepping stone game for them, kind of gauge how their season's going to go. I think they're going to keep it a little closer than some people might think. Now, I have been proven wrong many times in my life, and I would not be surprised if Sioux Falls Christian comes out and wins by 40 either, but I think Madison's going to keep it close for about the first half, maybe the first 2.5, 3 quarters. Obviously, the ranked matchup, Lennox and Dakota Valley, both teams 3-1, number 2 Lennox and number 4 Dakota Valley. But West Central's sitting at 2-2. They host Canton tonight. So far, they've lost to Sioux Falls Christian. They lost to Lennox. They beat Belfouche and McCook Central Montrose handily, so they just need a game against one of these top teams that they come out and compete in and look solid, because they haven't looked very good in their first game and their fourth game, where they looked really good in the second and third when they played MCM. So I think that's going to be one to watch as well, but obviously the big game across the state of South Dakota right now, not only just 11A, is that Lennox-Dakota Valley matchup at Lennox tonight.
When it comes to the rest of the state of South Dakota, no surprise in AAA, the media is going basically based off of where you fall when it comes to your overall record. Harrisburg, Sioux Falls, Lincoln, Brandon Valley, all still undefeated. Sioux Falls, Jefferson. O'Gorman's the 5th one that sneaks in there at 1-3. They have had an extremely tough opening part of their season. In 11AA, Watertown remains number 1. Brookings, after beating Pierre last week, has slid up into the number 2 spot. Pierre has fallen all the way down to 3. Yankton is still inside the top 5 with an overall record of 2-2. Spearfish has fallen all the way to 5 and receiving votes. T area and Aberdeen Christian. Certainly, it seems like when it comes to the playoffs this year, 11A or 11AA, is still wide open, and a lot of different things that we've seen so far for the first 4 weeks. Anything could happen.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, if we just look at the playoff picture right now, the top 8 teams, Brookings number 1, far and away, they're the only undefeated team. Watertown 2, Spearfish and T area tied at 3rd. Pierre is 5th, Aberdeen Central is 6th. Yankton is 7th. Huron and Mitchell currently tied for 8th place. They're in 11AA. I want to give a quick shout out to my cousin Brady, actually the head coach of the Brookings Bobcats this year, doing some big things, starting off 4-0. But then overall, just looking back at that media poll, I mean, you could probably go any which way you want with that 4, 5, and 6 between Yankton, the Spearfish, and T area, as they're only separated by a combined 4 votes between those 3 teams. Peter, I'd say they're still a solid team. They're not as good as we've seen them in previous years. Watertown and Brookings, obviously 1 and 2 with their big wins. I think Brookings' defense is really going to carry them through the rest of the season. Would not be surprised if they start trying to push for that top spot in the media poll after they keep getting wins. They travel to Sioux Falls Roosevelt, then they host T, they host Yankton, travel to Douglas, and travel to Huron. So, I mean, that's a good 4-1, maybe even 5-0 stretch for the Brookings Bobcats in 11AA. But as Heath and we've mentioned before, really a down year for 11AA when it comes down to it. It's really anybody's matchup.
When it comes over to Class 11B, winner remains the number 1 team according to the media. Sioux Valley in there at number 2, Elk Point Jefferson number 3, Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central number 4, Mount Vernon is number 5. And the media is also saying they like those 5 teams as there's no other team that is receiving votes in Class 11B. So Cole 11B historically has upsets in that first round. But according to the media, it seems like one of those 5 teams has a very good chance at winning the state title this year.
Yeah, exactly right. And if I were to put my personal opinion out there, I'd say it's Sioux Valley. I think just the talent that they have on the offensive end, their defense, really good at stopping the run, which is what a lot of these 11B teams like to do. Other than that, I think you could flip 1 and 2, and you might be able to flip 4 and 5. And I think that's a solid media poll. And then you just look at the playoffs, and it takes 16 teams down there in 11B. Right now, your 16th seed would be Dual, sitting at 1 and 3. And your number 1 seed's Winner, your 2 seed Sioux Valley, and your 3 seed Mount Vernon Plankington as it sits right now. I think there's a couple of good teams that can go all the way. Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, as it's going to be here in the Dome, your championship matchup, as assuming each team wins out, Winner and Sioux Valley, that'll be a really good matchup. I think Sioux Valley wins by 3.
We'll have to see. A lot of football still left to go. Now when it comes to 9AA, Parkston has been kind of heads and tails, it seems like, above everybody else. Hamlin is still fighting for the top spot. As according to the media, they come in at number 2. Elkton Lake Benton, number 3. Viber Curley, number 4. Trip Delma Armor ACDC has shocked, I think, a lot of people. That is a team that moved down to 9AA. They struggled there a couple years ago. They were really happy to move up to 11B. It felt a little bit more natural for football. They also got rid of their longtime head coach, who is still a part of their staff as he plays a smaller role. But again, just difficult for them. But they're undefeated, again, getting number 5 in the media polls. Otherwise, Hill City, Kimball White Lake, and Leola Frederick all receiving votes. 9AA could be very interesting, Cole, or does it seem like it's still going to be a Parkston Trojans party?
No, I think it's going to be interesting because the way you look at these teams and how the playoff situation right now kind of sorts out, we still have 5 undefeated teams right now in 9AA. Parkston's obviously up there up top. Hamlin's really good again. A lot of people expected them to be down a little bit after their graduating class. Let me tell you, they're a very talented team. I think they're giving Parkston a run for their money. Elkton Lake Benton, they're solid, but then you kind of look at their schedule, and they haven't played a whole lot of teams. I mean, they've beat who they needed to in Viborg Hurley and Freeman Mary and Freeman Academy. After that, they haven't played anybody, so they really have 2 solid wins out of 5. Viborg Hurley's a talented squad, of course, only losing to Elkton Lake Benton. And TDA ACDC, like you said, winning the games they need to. I know some people are going to look at it and say, well, they're 4-0, but they've had 4 really easy games to open up the year. Well, it's not. They can't really do a whole lot to control that. They're given the schedule from the state. They just got to go out and play. Team you got to look out there for, even though they haven't played very many solid teams, they just beat Faulkton area last week. Leola Frederick area, they've got some pretty good talent on both sides of the ball. Watch out for them in 9AA.
When it comes to 9A, Howard is ahead of everybody else at 5-0 so far in their season. Wall comes in at 2nd, Warner 3rd, Woolsey Wessington 4th in the media polls. Harding County Bison is 5th. And jumping over to 9B, Avon, Del Rapids, St. Mary, Sully Buttes, Faulkton area, Canastota round out the top 5. Seems like in 9B, everyone's trying to chase down the defending champions with the Avon Pirates.
Yeah, exactly right. As I want to touch on 9B, then move back up to 9A. But yeah, Avon, by far and away the number one team. The fact that St. Mary's got a first-place vote after their performance last week kind of surprises me. And then you just kind of look at it. Avon's won. Then really anybody else down there that you can see getting these votes, maybe except for a couple of the teams, they're solid. And I think they can make a run for it. But like you said, everybody's chasing Avon. And quickly, while I got a second, go back up to 9A. Howard, far and away number one. Wall receiving a first-place vote. They're a solid team. I think if they play Harding County Bison later in the year instead of the first game, Harding County Bison beats them by 20 and not the other way around. Warner, Woolsey, Weston, they're also solid, but everybody right now chasing the Howard Tigers.
And that is a look at your media polls and standings from across the state of South Dakota here on the pregame show. Let's get back into tonight's contest for T-Week. The Milbank Bulldogs and the Vermillion Tanagers. To talk more about their teams, head coach Tom O'Boyle and head coach and first-year head coach Mick Thompson are on the way next to talk about this matchup here inside the Dakota Dome. That's on the way next on Live Ticket TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Since 1966, Louis Cleaning and Restoration has served the Vermillion and Southeast South Dakota area with high-quality work and even higher-quality customer service. At Vermillion's oldest cleaning and restoration company, they pride themselves on providing the best service with friendly, knowledgeable staff. They specialize in cleaning, offering extensive cleaning services with high-powered equipment at an affordable price. Check out their website for a full list of services they offer. And next time you need it clean, call Louis Cleaning and Restoration.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athletes.
Lauren Lewis Field inside the Dakota Dome. We're getting you set for homecoming night. Vermillion Tanagers take on the Milbank Bulldogs. Just got done recapping what's coming up this week when it comes to Friday Night Lights for high school scores. Also taking a look back at the media polls. Now it's time to get into our coaches' conversations with first-year head coach Mick Thompson. He has been around the Milbank Bulldogs program for a few years now, but has never been the head coach, but has slotted into this position for the beginning of this year, where he opened up the season with a 55-0 victory over Lakota Tech. Again, the Bulldogs come in 2-2 on the season, getting beaten Lakota Tech week 1, lost to Tri-Valley in a very close game, 14-13. beat Groton area 32-28, and then again losing last week against Del Rapids, now making this trip here to the Dakota Dome. Now, earlier I was able to catch up with Coach Thompson, and we talked about this matchup not only here in the Dome, but also his team, and kind of very similar to what the Vermillion Tanagers are. A lot of young guys out there, not a big squad when it comes to Class 11A football. Very evenly matched team and a very balanced team offensively with their rushing and their passing. So how they look to take apart the Vermillion Tanagers, and on the opposite side, how they look to stop Hayden Christopherson. You may remember a year ago, it was Hayden Christopherson who came in as the backup quarterback and led the Tanagers to an overtime victory last year at A.B. Campbell Stadium. So how does he stop him this year? Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Milbank Bulldogs, Mick Thompson. Coach Thompson, you get ready to take on the Vermillion Tanagers in a big game as it's homecoming week for the Vermillion Tanagers. But before we talk about that game coming up here against Vermillion inside the Dakota Dome, I kind of want to recap what's been happening with your team coming into this game, including 2-2 on the season. Let's start there. You've kind of been up and down. It seems like this is a very weird schedule for you. You have a lot of Class B teams. That's because you're playing teams more in your area. You've also made the long trip over to Lakota Tech as well to open up this season. What's it been like kind of these first few weeks as the new head coach there for the Milbank Bulldogs?
Well, I mean, it's kind of, like you said, it's been up and down, just kind of, we're a pretty inexperienced team, especially, to start the year especially. I mean, we're kind of obviously gaining experience as the season goes on, but just trying to, get growth every single week. We did luck out. We didn't have to go to Lakota Tech this year. That is next fall's joy, driving out there from Milbank. But, we've just kind of gotten better every week. But obviously last week against Del Rapids was a tough game. And we traveled down, played really well, or really tough against Tri-Valley, just kind of wound up making too many inexperienced mistakes to overcome things. But I feel like as the season's going, we are progressing, getting better, and I'm excited what this team can do moving forward.
You talk about such a young team as well and continue to progress forward. Do you think it helps kind of a little bit with your schedule as well with having a few more Class B teams than what we see with other Class A teams? Like, that'd be something Vermillion would say is like, how do we get some more Class B teams put onto our schedule instead of having to travel all the way around the state? But do you think that helps a little bit with your squad to just continue to build towards the future?
Well, so the reason we have that is just because we're playing within our conference, because like in the NEC, we're the only A school available, and like Sisseton, has kind of been on the border and has been A in previous years, but has been down to B lately. So we're kind of just, but we're playing rivalry games. Like Groton is a giant rival for us, so I don't really feel like we're getting like an easy week, an easy break in the schedule really, because even Sisseton's a pretty good rival. Last year they came down to Milbank and got us, and we haven't played Roncalli since 2019, I think, but that's also another school that's been a really, like, when you talk to the older guys or even the guys on staff who have been in Milbank or grew up in Milbank, we're playing teams that are like, the teams that really get up and get after us for a lot of times. So I don't know how much of a blessing it is, but it is kind of fun to get back to the, like, okay, this is Milbank historical rivals that we're playing instead of, for us traveling south, like, Madison's as close as it gets for us, and it's still an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours for us to get there. So I think it's kind of a balance, and I don't know, the state's trying to figure it out every year. I don't know if there's like a good compromise or easy way to fix any of those things. So
I don't think so, Coach. I think we could spend a million years trying to figure it out. I think it's just the state. Everyone always complains about this and that. I'm like, just look at this state. It is not the most convenient thing when you have the middle of the state that's kind of empty, and there's not as much going on out there west as there is east. That's just the way it is, as I always tell people.
Yeah.
And just get used to it. Offensively, you have a very balanced attack. We're seeing as many rushing yards basically as we have seen passing yards. What has been able to complement this offense so nicely and keeping it balanced with your team?
Well, we just, I would say our experience is largely up front. We had quite a few returning linemen and guys with a lot of playing time under their belts up front. And, it's 11-man football in South Dakota. I mean, you got to run the ball. You can't really count on throwing it and chuck it around all the time. I mean, the Sisseton days of like the late 2000s, early 2010s, where they were throwing it 40 times a game, it's hard to replicate that kind of success. So we're always predicated on we need to be able to move the ball on the ground first and establish that, and then we can kind of build things off of that and go from there. But I mean, I'm an O-line coach originally, so like my whole thing is if we can run for 300 yards, great. I'll spend 50 plays doing that if we need to.
This is so interesting because it's the complete opposite philosophy right now for the Vermillion Tanagers. Tom O'Boyle would say if he could throw it 80 times or even 180 times in the game, he will right now just because that's what he thinks he has with his team. What have you seen on film? I know the Madison game's tough to look at, but then you look back at Canton where they threw all over the Seahawks. What has been what you see on film that you need to shut down with this passing game for the Vermillion Tanagers?
Well, I think, number 15, I forget his name, but he played against us last year. Actually, their starting quarterback got hurt, and he came in and really kind of lit us up for a little bit as far as my memory serves in last season's game. He just throws a really nice ball, and he's got really good timing, and if he can get into a rhythm like he did against Canton, I mean, he can really light up the stat sheet and move the ball up and down the field. And they're, got some really good young wide receivers that seem like they're growing every week, and I don't blame Coach O'Boyle at all for doing that. If that's what you got to do, just go ahead and do it. And it's fun to watch, fun to coach too, I'm sure. So I feel like we really gotta find a way to get him off rhythm, get him off his spot a little bit, and, try and contain that passing game as much as we can.
Going back to your offense, as you talked about, because I didn't want to stray too far away from that with the rushing game that you mentioned, we have seen kind of two main guys, the quarterback, running back, that have gotten the majority of the carries. But how much do you want to kind of spread out that running game if you can and get some other guys touches on the ball and get some carries for your team as well?
Well, we got a lot of guys that are having to play both ways. It's hard to be a linebacker or a DB and carry the ball 25 times on top of playing, 50, 60 snaps on defense. So we need to continue to spread the ball around a little bit. I mean, I feel like I've got a decent, stable of backs that I can kind of rotate back and forth, and each one of them kind of brings their own thing. I've got a bowling ball kind of guy that just wants to make contact and drive through and gain yards that way. And then I've got, guys that are a little bit more heady with what they're doing, where they're making the right reads and cutting off on our zone games and things like that. But yeah, we need to continue to spread the ball just out of necessity and keep everybody rolling and fresh for both sides of the ball.
It's kind of interesting that you bring that up because you talk about playing both ways. That's something we see with the Vermillion Tanagers as well, is they play a lot of guys both ways just because when you have 34 guys out for football, that's just kind of what you have to do. When watching also on film with that, how much of this is going to be a game or a war of attrition, if you will, against the Vermillion Tanagers with both teams having guys playing both ways?
Well, I mean, you try to rotate as much as you can at your spots while not, handcuffing yourself by who's out there, and you balance playing your best players and getting some younger guys some experience and things like that. And in the dome, historically, it gets hot and humid in there, especially since it's supposed to be a fairly warm day Friday. I mean, we'll see what it feels like when we get there, but I think both teams, being fresh is going to be a big deal, especially with the way they're running around throwing the ball, and then the way we're trying to be physical in the trenches. Both of those things can wear teams out pretty quick.
When it comes,
so I think conditioning and staying on top of it is going to be a big deal.
And when it comes to that, you talk about being conditioned. Do you look at this kind of a game as well with how much Vermillion wants to pass the football, that you want time of possession in your favor? And not only do you want it in your favor, obviously, but high in your favor with the running game?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obviously one of the goals, is to try and, especially if we feel like they're getting in a rhythm, then when we get the ball, we need to hold on and just keep the ball out of the hands of their quarterback as much as possible. If the more we have the ball, the more success we're probably having on offense. So that's just a big indicator of how the game is going for us.
Vermillion does schedule Milbank as part of their homecoming week. You know, it's also kind of that feeling that when you get scheduled as homecoming week, good chance that the home team thinks that they can win. How much does that motivate you coming down to Vermillion to try to ruin Vermillion's homecoming week and kind of put spoils to the party there in Vermillion?
Well, it's always, you know, kind of just an extra bit of motivation to be able to go down and, you know, play someone on their homecoming. I don't know how true all of that homecoming stuff is all the time. You know, this season we had Groton. Last year we had Del Rapids. So we have not been able to pick our homecoming game, so I kind of just assume most people are in the same spot as we are.
Once again, that is head coach Mick Thompson of the Milbank Bulldogs. Great catching up with him. Again, first-year coach for the Milbank Bulldogs. Been a part of the program for some time, but again, just being able to catch up with him and kind of pick apart his mind and the philosophy that he brings with the Bulldogs. A very cool conversation. Getting to sit down with him and talk more about his team and getting their chance to come here to the Dakota Dome to try to ruin T-Week and upset the Tanagers on homecoming night, or I should say not maybe upset, but just try to see if they can't find the victory and put spoils to the Vermillion Tanagers homecoming evening for this Friday night. Again, Tanager fans, if you're just tuning in, we do have kickoff that is coming up at 6 o'clock. Game is moved up an hour due to the travel for Milbank. We're going to step aside. We have plenty more coming up here on the pregame show, including head coach Tom O'Boyle of the Vermillion Tanagers recapping that game against Madison, where his offense struggled after putting up over 30 points against Canton. Things fell apart against Madison. Do they get back more into the running game, or does Hayden Christopherson continue to sling the football around the field and see if they can't get open this week against the other Bulldogs, Milbank? That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Your crops and stronger yields count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
At H. Lauren Lewis Field inside the Dakota Dome as we are Friday Night Lights football action here on Live Ticket TV, along with Spencer Bewley, Cole Larsh. Good evening. I'm Heath Nimke. Kickoff is getting closer between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs for this homecoming night. Kickoff coming up at 6 o'clock due to the travel for the Milbank Bulldogs, so it's been moved up this hour. Just the hour difference. Not too bad. Pretty manageable, if you will. Something that's not manageable, going 5 of 22 in the passing game for 56 yards and 4 interceptions. But that is what happened last week for the Vermillion Tanagers and Hayden Christopherson, as Madison had the complete answer for anything and everything that Vermillion did offensively last week. Now, Vermillion, after having such success in the passing game against the Canton Seahawks, and then not having any success in the passing game until, I guess, last drive of the football game. But even then, we finally got the offense going with the run game, where we saw over 71 yards rushing. But coming into this week, what is going now to be the mantra when it comes to either passing the football or throwing the football? I was able to catch up with head coach Tom O'Boyle of the Vermillion Tanagers to talk about what happened against Madison and seeing that run game come together again. Do we go back to more of a balance, or is it still sling the football around? Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion Tanagers, Tom O'Boyle. Coach OB, you get ready for the Milbank Bulldogs as it's homecoming week. But before we talk about this Milbank game coming up, let's revisit last week against the Madison Bulldogs in Madison at Brian Kern Family Stadium. It was a tough go for your team offensively. Just really couldn't move the ball. Looking back at film, what was it that Madison did so well defensively to eliminate the Tanagers in the passing game?
Well, I'll concur with you. That's probably the worst offensive game we've had in a couple of years, just totally with, from the O-line to the receivers to the quarterback to the running back. I shouldn't say that. Ryan Chapman, I thought, really did a nice job in the 10 attempts that he had. He had 52 yards and ran hard. But, Madison came up and gave us a press look, and it really bothered us. It took us out of our game, and kids never really ever seemed to get in sync, and we made some we made a couple decisions at the quarterback spot to throw the ball where we shouldn't, by read and by design. So just all in all, we just didn't play well as a team, and we hung our defense out to dry. They had to play the whole game, and they gave up some big plays to Brooks, who's a good athlete. Is he the superstar that we made him look like? I have a hard time agreeing with that, but you don't badmouth the team that beat you, and he did put up 4 touchdowns against us. So, but I think that was more of a we left our defense in tough positions. We gave them, by virtue of throwing 4 interceptions, you give the team 4 more possessions, and it's just it was a long 4 quarters. I'll just say that, Heath, on the sideline.
Well, you go off of, again, there's no such thing as a moral victory, right? But all of a sudden, you put potentially Canton on how to beat them, and then Sioux Falls Christian says, thank you for the playbook, we'll go murder them in Sioux Falls. And again, morale seems a little high. Things are going right. You're like, all right, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to go get Madison. We're going to have an upset. We're going to ruin their homecoming. And then you lay an egg like that. Also throughout the week, it's announced that no more JV games are going to happen because we need all the guys on varsity. And are you happy, honestly, Coach, that homecoming's here now, just to get the morale back up after that performance against Madison?
Our kids are the same every week. I love the homecoming's a big deal. I don't know that it has the luster that it used to have, but it's still a big deal for kids. Riley French, who best linebacker in high school football, certainly he's named homecoming king on Monday night, and we had 2 other guys on the up for the same position. So I think our kids are excited. Our kids that they do want to play. They do want to make amends, if you will, for our performance a week ago. So I think it's a good time. with the schedule, especially when you're 1-3. It gives you a little more oomph, gives you a little more, see some more smiles. And guys, we had a good practice last night. And people moving around, and we're injury free. So, homecoming, I think, for Vermillion this year comes at the right time. Can we channel, the very good Vermillion offense and special teams and defense all in the same night? That's my job this week, to make sure that we're ready to go at kickoff. It's an early kickoff time at 6 p.m. instead of 7. So, yeah, that little change, and it's also military appreciation night. So we're wearing camo jerseys, and kids are fired up about that. So, there's enough out there, enough carrots that make kids believe and want to play hard. And I like to believe that our kids want to play hard every day. We strive to get better each and every practice. So Milbank is a good opponent. I think they're the opponent we need right now. I'm certainly not taking any shots at them or giving them bulletin board material, but I think on film it's a good matchup for us.
Coach, I think you can take those type of shots because historically, I mean, any coach, any AD will say you that homecoming is meant to schedule a game that we expect to win on Friday night which I don't know when the dance is nowadays. I just remember the dance always used to be after the Friday night football game where I came from. I think they're on Saturdays nowadays, but it's supposed to bring all everyone together and make them all happy for getting a victory. So what is it on film that you think you can take advantage of? And just looking at the schedule for the Milbank Bulldogs, I talk about so many other teams in Class 11A and the competition they play. Milbank plays a lot of Class 11B teams. They've also played Lakota Tech. So what gives you that optimistic look that you can beat the Milbank Bulldogs?
Well, first and foremost, just knowing our kids. I believe we're capable of a win each and every Friday night. Milbank in particular, they do some things in their secondary that they play high, the old sky coverage, if you will, where the corners are off. Now maybe they'll watch the Madison film and go to work and walk up and try to press us. I don't think they have the speed or the type of athlete in their secondary that Madison has. So we just like we like how we've played against them in the past. We have wins. Kids remember that. All the things, we check the boxes of how to perform well and how to be ready, and a big important one of those is having beaten them before. And so I just think that our kids have a different look to their faces this week at practice. We're doing some nice things. We're staying the course. We're never going to panic. We got a great defensive leader, Raleigh French, who, he's a guy that has 30 tackles against Madison, 30 on film. It's just, those type of guys are easy to rally around, and now he's the king of the dome, if you will, for this Friday. So, I think it's time for us to put smiles back on our faces, play well, and get to 2-3.
I want to focus also on this offense, but you continue to talk about Raleigh French, and we joked around a couple weeks ago that he should have had a penalty on him when he had a hip drop tackle last time into the dome against the Kansas Seahawks. I mean, that was a pure wrestling move, and it was awesome to see. Of course, they're trying to eliminate that in football, but you talk so much about Raleigh, and of course, his wrestling background, how great of an athlete that he is in wrestling. Coach, do you want him to go play college football, or would you rather see him go do some college wrestling? Or have you talked to him about that? What's his plan in the future?
Oh, no. That's one of the beauties of being a high school coach. You get to know kids, and you get to have conversations all the time, about future and about things you want to do. And Raleigh has made it clear that he'd like to be a college football player, given an opportunity. So I think he is playing himself into that evaluation. He's just a leader. Raleigh's no different in the middle linebacker spot than he is in the hallway, than he is sitting beside you in class, than he is lifting weights. I mean, he's an energetic kid that is always going to see the upbeat, positive side of things. You can trust him. He's very reliable. He's one of the guys that keep people like me, people lucky enough to be me, in education and a teacher around. I mean, the smiles and working with young people that are so talented and so gifted, has such great support at home that, it's a win-win every time you get to step on a field with a Raleigh French or Landon Cerny, Connor Peterson, Sean Dolan, our seniors. It's just amazing how, Jacob Larson, our senior manager, those guys, you just know are going to do well because they do the right things daily.
That's awesome to hear. And you can see it when it's through the peers as well, with how many of them got onto homecoming court as well. And as you mentioned already, Raleigh wins Homecoming King, and that's all voted by his classmates. So really cool to see there. Coach, offensively, this has been we're going to throw the football on you 300 times this game. You try to stop us. Madison said, all right, no problem. We can do that. We have the athletes, and eventually we saw you run the football again. So against Milbank, are we going to see the run sprinkled in a little bit more, or is it back to Hayden Christopherson throwing the football 80 times against the Milbank Bulldogs?
If it could be 180 times, I'd be happy. I think that, no, you're going to see a sprinkle. You're going to see us much more under center. We've identified ourselves, and we've been pretty, with film study, when we're in gun, we're 90% going to throw. And when we go under, we're 100% run. So you're going to see us throw the ball, but from under center, try to hold some linebackers and hold some seam routes or some rub routes by being under center. And we have a very talented kid, Ryan Chapman. So we're take our shots with him as well.
You mentioned homecoming, also military appreciation night with the camouflage uniforms that will be worn. Just a lot of different things going on Friday. How special of a time is it in Vermillion when it comes up to Friday Night Lights and you guys get ready for kickoff?
You can't describe it. You can't replace it. It's to be so fortunate to live in a college town that you feel the energy from a very good Coyote team. It's homecoming for you. It's a big game. You're used to having big games in the community because of the college town and because of your abilities to play. So it's a great time to be a Tanager. It's time to right the ship and get to 2 and 3. And I think this Friday at 6 p.m. I think our kids are going to show the folks.
That was head coach Tom O'Boyle here on our pregame show, talking about what it takes to go up against the Milbank Bulldogs tonight and find the victory on homecoming night, and what is a very, very big game for the Vermillion Tanagers. If they want to have any chance of making the postseason, they would have to win this game against the Milbank Bulldogs, and they're going to need to find some more wins for the rest of their season. And again, Coach Tom O'Boyle said it. He really thinks this is a game that his crew can get the victory. We're going to find out as kickoff is coming up here in just a little bit. Another timeout. When we come back, we get you set and ready to go for kickoff between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today. Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Inside the Dakota Dome on T-Week, it comes down to this. Friday Night Lights with the kickoff set for 6 o'clock this evening. I'm Heath Nimke. Cole Larsh, Spencer Bewley join me here on the broadcast. Kickoff is coming up here in just a little bit for the 6th all-time meeting between these two teams, where Vermillion leads the series 3-2. A year ago, we met at A.B. Campbell Stadium, where the Vermillion Tanagers got the 22-20 victory over the Milbank Bulldogs. In fact, this is just the third time these teams meeting of not when it is in the playoffs. The first 3 previous times before that, they had met in the playoffs, and they were all semifinal contests. The first was back in 1983, where Milbank won 28-7. The second time was back in 1992, won by Vermillion 23-22. And the third time was back in 2021, where Milbank won 24-0. Cole, I have your trivia question for tonight.
All right.
Are you ready for it?
Sure.
The 1992 contest was played in Milbank, and the 2021 contest was played here in the Dome, but the 1983 contest was not played in either Milbank or Vermillion. What was the location of the 1983 semifinal, and why was it not played at the home site for either team?
It's a great question. If I'm being 100% honest, I could not tell you.
We go all the way back to 1983. That playoff game was played in Madison, South Dakota. Both teams had the same PowerPoint average and hosted and traveled during the first 2 rounds. Now, the South Dakota High School Activities Association did not have a tiebreaker procedure in place at the time for this situation. So needless to say, they implemented one the following year. But in 1983, the administration from each school district met on a conference call and agreed to play in Madison if Madison was willing to host, in which they did. And on another note, after winning the 1992 semifinal, Vermillion went on to claim their 3rd consecutive Class 11A football championship and a win-over-winner. Also, on one other note, Cole, you saw it earlier, Kalen DeBoer, who is currently the head coach at the University of Alabama, was a senior and an all-state defensive end and linebacker on the 1992 Milbank team that defeated Vermillion in the semifinal game. Little interesting tidbits on the history of these two teams. Again, it's not a lot of history when it comes to meeting together, but they have a little bit of interesting history when they do meet. Cole, let's get into now these two teams. What does it take for Milbank to continue their success against teams so far this season?
Well, I think the big thing they have to focus on right now for this game is they got to stop the pass of Vermillion. Vermillion's shown lately that they like to pass. The last game against Madison, maybe not the most successful in their passing game, but they're going to keep sticking to it, I believe. And old Boyle's going to say that it's going to keep working. We might as well stick to it. For Vermillion, it's pretty much the same thing on the other end. Do what you do well. Try to stop their best thing, and if you can't, then you just got to try and play ball. Try not to let it go to overtime this year.
It'll be interesting to see if it does go to overtime. Again, Vermillion won it last year, 22-20. We're going to step aside for our national anthem, and when we come back here inside the Dome, we'll have kickoff between Milbank and Vermillion. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV. Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers. When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
It's almost game time between the Milbank Bulldogs and the Vermillion Tanagers. I'm Heath Nimke along with Spencer Bewley and Cole Larsh. It is a packed house inside the Dakota Dome for fans on homecoming week. Let's get to my other broadcast partner for this evening, Spencer Bewley. We saw this team a week ago, Spencer, for the Vermillion Tanagers, struggle to throw the football. They've kind of announced as a team that that's what they like to do. We heard Coach Tom O'Boyle said in the pregame, hey, if his group can throw the football 80 times in a game, they will. But how important do you think it is to kind of reestablish the run and the pass game to have that balance for the Vermillion Tanagers?
Well, you said it there. I mean, the balance is huge because it's really difficult to successfully throw the ball if you can't successfully run the ball, because you got to be able to keep the defense on their toes. You can't let them essentially know your entire game plan. So it's got to be a balance, and I think that throwing the ball is going to be crucial tonight. But I agree with you, Heath. I think it starts with the run and establishing that presence up front.
Again, these two teams met a year ago. It's the 6th all-time meeting between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs as they meet in the middle right now. Let's kind of get that zoomed in on the camera and explain a little bit more. Why is Vermillion in their camouflage uniforms? Well, this was something they introduced last year for Military Appreciation Night. So they are doing both homecoming tonight and also Military Appreciation tonight. So very cool to see that. And again, because of it, Vermillion will be in more of a green uniform. But Cole, at least the numbers are in white and very easy to read for us up here in the broadcast area.
Exactly right. I mean, you get some of those combinations, like you think about USD women's soccer, their red uniforms, they have very small white numbers, not very easy to see no matter how close you are. And that's just one of those things in the broadcast booth that you kind of hope and pray for, that you can see the numbers pretty well, and the same goes for the Milbank side in their road white uniforms too.
And by the way, Cole, just a small little tidbit, they do that in all soccer. It's not just USD. You can blame everybody for having those small numbers. The coin toss, it will be Vermillion that will take the opening kickoff as Milbank will kick. Cole, this offense, they need to get off to a quick start. They need to erase the demons they had a week ago against the Madison Bulldogs.
Exactly right. That's one of those games where you kind of look at it and you think, okay, we could have done this better and this better and this better, but at the end of the day, you just got to flush and move on. I mean, this one of those deals where you can learn from the loss. A lot of good things you did, a lot of things you didn't do maybe so well, and just learn from those mistakes, take it into this game, and try to take it to the Milbank Bulldogs.
So here we go inside the Dakota Dome. It's T-Week, homecoming week. It gets nothing better than this. If you're just tuning into the broadcast thinking maybe the pregame show's about to start, no, we are starting an hour early. And again, the reason starting an hour earlier for tonight is because of the travel for the Milbank Bulldogs. They want to move things up an hour, and that was granted by Vermillion High School. Again, this is the most packed that we have seen the Dakota Dome in quite some time. A lot of fans, whether all-time followers of the Tanagers are following for the first time in a very long time. They have packed into the dome, and we are ready to go for the opening kickoff. As having it teed up is Moses Luna, the senior lineman for the Milbank Bulldogs. He puts a boot into this one, and it's going to be picked up at the 24-yard line as Chapman finds some space up to the 40 and taken down at the 42-yard line. Again, a week ago, it's a week that Hayden Christopherson would want to forget, throwing for under 50 yards in the passing game, had 4 interceptions, all around just a tough game. What is the game plan tonight? We heard Coach Tom O'Boyle talk about it during the pregame show that it was going to continue to be the passing game, but with Chapman starting to get healthy, we could see that sprinkle of run back in. We also heard that they will go underneath center quite a bit tonight, and it's exactly what Hayden Christopherson does on this first snap as he moves Chapman in motion, and it is going to be a handoff to the near side. Chapman cuts it up. Cole, you want to see Chapman maybe cut that up a little bit sooner. You don't have to run sideline to sideline. Cut it up, use your burst of speed, and run somebody over.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but I mean, at the end of the day, he got 8 yards out of it, so we can't really nitpick it too much. I'd, of course, love to see that out of a good fast back like him, not only show his speed, but get the ball upfield a little bit, maybe lower your head, lower your shoulder a little bit, especially early in the game.
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm complaining over here after an 8-yard gain, and you just sat me down and corrected and said, hey, Heath, how about we take the yards? And all of a sudden, we see them not only run on the first play, now they're going back to shotgun formation, staying at the 45. Chapman is back in motion as Christopherson looks on the quick curl pass, and Peterson is wide open past the 40, and it's going to be a plethora of Bulldogs that drag him out at the 37-yard line, and it's a pickup and a first down for the Vermillion Tanagers as it goes again to 37. So it's going to be a pickup of, 13 yards in the first down.
Yeah, you're exactly right. 2 plays. We've gone 21 yards so far in this Vermillion offense, just under a minute off the clock. I mean, this is like all-time offensive efficiency you want to see, especially early on this first drive. Establish what you want to do early. Make Milbank's defense play on their heels a little bit.
And you have to love it from Coach Tom O'Boyle as he's mixing it up very, very quickly against the Milbank Bulldogs, flexing what he can bring. Cole, on 3 different plays now, we have seen Vermillion run 3 different formations, all very successfully, and all of a sudden as a head coach, your playbook is wide open.
Exactly right. I mean, you can kind of nitpick and say, I don't want this play or this play, but I mean, through 3 plays, you've gone so far upfield it's not even funny. I mean, just keep working the ball. Maybe it's a little too early to start experimenting with some stuff, but just keep the ball moving forward.
Hayden Christopherson goes back underneath center with Chapman, the running back. He's going to hand it off to Chapman. This time he bounces it out to the number, is still on his feet, and taken down at the 21-yard line. A pickup of 11 yards, another first down. Quick update already for you, Cole. 3 carries for 25 yards. This is getting back to week 1 against Lennox that we're seeing Chapman carry the football.
Exactly right. I think this is kind of what, in my opinion, what Vermillion needed to work on a little bit more to try and get their run game established a little bit so that then they can go to the pass. Doing a really good job under center once again.
So again, this time it's empty backfield as back to passes. Hayden Christopherson, he's looking to the corner of the end zone. It's caught and taken down at the 2-yard line. A pickup of 19 yards and a big completion to Chapman, as it's been all Chapman tonight for the football game for the Vermillion Tanagers.
And you know what? If it's working, don't go away from it and keep getting him the ball. It's shown so far that it's working. Now just like that, they got a first and goal from the 2-yard line.
Hayden Christopherson, 2 for 2 in the passing game for 32 yards. It took him to get 32 yards in the passing game until the 4th quarter last week against Madison. Here on homecoming week, the Tanagers are certainly ready to go as they hand it off to Chapman. He stretches it across, and it's in for a Vermillion touchdown. Rain Chapman, the 2-yard carry, and the Vermillion Tanagers are on the board. 6-0. They lead it over the Milbank Bulldogs.
I mean, that is a textbook offensive drive right there. 6 plays, 58 yards, like you said, just 2.5 minutes off the clock. I mean, what else could you have wanted right there from the Vermillion Tanagers?
It doesn't get much better than that for Vermillion as they just move right down the field. Again, everything worked on that drive. Chapman 4 carries for 26 yards. Hayden Christopherson 2 passes for 32 yards. And the Vermillion Tanagers on to kick the extra point with 9:30 remaining in this first quarter. Riley French wanted to put it through the uprights, and he's able to do so, and Vermillion leads it 7-0. And Milbank Bulldogs will have it on their first possession coming up after this timeout here on Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like
Welcome
tanagers.
back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athletes.
It's homecoming week, and the Vermillion Tanagers are already in party mode, leading it 7-0. Using the first drive, it took them all 6 plays to get on the scoreboard, leading it 7-0 over the Milbank Bulldogs. Cole, what officially happened on that drive?
Yeah, 6 plays, 58 yards, 2.5 minutes as we see a shorter kick than we usually see right there, and Milbank's going to get it at their own 46. 6 plays, 58 yards, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Ryan Chapman with the 2-yard touchdown and the Raleigh French PAT.
It is supposed to be squibbed like that. It did hit off an up man, though. It's supposed to find its way through, and it took a deflection off the leg there, and that's why it was such a short kickoff. It's all the way up to the 46, so good starting field position as Braylon Bowser will bring out his offense. This is a balanced Bulldog attack. They can run the football and they can pass. We'll see what Bowser decides to do on this very first play as they're going to hand it off underneath, trying to bully his way forward for a pickup of 2 yards was Owen Tesh, and he'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, just your standard start off the game, run up the middle, and Milbank, they're going to get the play quick. They're going to look down at the wristband. They're going to try and move here, get Vermillion's defense a little more tired.
This time to bring in the fullback shotgun formation for Bowser as they're going to go underneath once again, trying to follow that fullback block, but just creates a whole bunch of bodies right there in the middle. It's another pickup of 2 yards for Owen Tesh, and they'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Nice job defensively for the Vermillion Tanagers to float the football.
You're exactly right. I mean, it's just what they want to do. You see ball, find ball, and that's exactly what their linebackers are doing a solid job flowing, finding those gaps, and hitting them hard.
So now on 3rd down and 6, ball is at the 50-yard line for the Milbank Bulldogs. 8:25 first quarter. Shotgun formation, stay at the 45, back to pass. It's over the middle on the slant route. There was some early contact, and they are going to throw a pass interference. It's the first penalty flag against the Vermillion Tanagers, but it'll get 15 yards to the Milbank Bulldogs and a 1st down. Again, collision on the slant just before the ball was there. It was a late flag, but the right call.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, just contact a little bit early, like you said, but good job by the officials right there. Get the call right, and just like that, Milbank going to get 1st and 10.
This ref trying to shout out what the official call was. We did have a mic'd up ref last week, Cole. You missed it. He was comical.
Really?
He struggled. He was not ready to be mic'd up, and his first call was that way. He was indicating a penalty that was against the Milbank Bulldogs, or excuse me, against Madison Bulldogs. He was just so flustered. This time a carry of 11 yards for Owen Tesh, and it's a 1st down for Milbank.
It's just they're doing a really good job of running the ball right now. I don't see him going away from that run, except for like we saw a 3rd and 6 scenario where they went to a quick slant route.
And they go quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Ball is at the 29-yard line. They're going to go right back to Owen once again, and up the middle he goes, slashing to the 20-yard line. That's a pickup of 4 yards. 4 carries for 19 yards already in the ball game for Owen Tesh.
They just, like I said, doing a really good job. They're controlling the line of scrimmage right now, Vermillion. Now they're going to try and show 5 guys on that line of scrimmage with 8 technically right now in the box, and now they got a double motion.
Moving 2 wide receivers to the far side, keeping the lone wide receiver here at the near side, which is Esteban. They look, though, to the left side, and it's going to be well out of bounds, and it'll go incomplete, and it'll bring up now 3rd down and 6. First incompletion of the game for either team. Again, 3rd down and 6 upcoming with the ball at the 20-yard line. We did see Milbank during the warm-ups have their kicker out there kicking 32-yard field goals, so if he can do anything what he was doing during warm-ups, this is certainly within his range to add 3 for Milbank. Owen Tesh, the running back on the right side. It's going to be a quick pass. Wide receiver screen, read perfectly by the Vermillion Tanagers. A loss of 1, and it will bring up 4th down for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Yeah, just a really good job there by Peterson, kind of filling that, noticing the screen, and just coming up hard, trying to make sure that Milbank didn't get any more than they had.
So now on 4th down and 7, Milbank is going to keep the offense out there, and they are going to try to get a 1st down. They need to get to the 19-yard line if they want to do so. Shotgun formation for Bauscher and the Milbank Bulldogs. Tesh to his left side, trips to that far side as well. They scramble that way, looking downfield, plenty of time, and now Bauscher is going to take off. He's at the sticks, and he has plenty, as Vermillion didn't necessarily come up to stop him. They let him get to the sticks, and then run for a few more. He picks up 10, and it's a 1st down for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Hey, just a really good job of the Bulldogs there. That was just your basic run-of-the-mill, levels concept. There we go. That's the word I was trying to think of. Where you got one guy run about a 5-yard flat, have a 10-yard out, and then about a 15 or 16-yard post. Really good concept, and now we got 1st and 10 from the 11.
Inside the red zone, they'll hand off to Owen Tesh. This time, Vermillion gets great penetration, and they were right there in the backfield. Nice job, though, by Owen to pick up a yard, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, like I said, going to give him a yard of forward progress there. Vermillion doing much better so far in the second half of this drive. Get some more penetration on that line of scrimmage. Get those offensive linemen back a little bit. Don't let Tesh get so much so much steam going forward.
Ball at the 10-yard line as they're going to fake the handoff to Owen Tesh, kept by Bauscher, and he tries to find some space and nowhere working for him this time. And he'll bring up now 3rd down and 9.
A really good job there by that defensive end or linebacker by the Tanagers. I could not quite get his number, but just one of those where quarterback pulled it and he kind of stayed with it, made that quarterback kind of second guess his decision on which way he's going to go.
So now on 3rd down and 9 with the ball at the 10-yard line, the Milbank Bulldogs with 4:54 remaining in this first quarter, trying to pick up a 1st down or even get a touchdown here. It's going to be the option play as it's a quick pitch right away. Defensively, that's exactly what you want. Work to the quarterback, make him have the quick pitch, and then follow the running back. Go down the train tracks is what they taught us, Cole, and it brings up a big 4th down for Milbank.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and a really good job there by Lara. He kind of stunted at the quarterback, made him pitch, and then let his entire defense come up behind him and flow to that running back. Now we've got 4th and now 10 yards from the 11-yard line, and Milbank's going for it. One thing I will note, they've already taken over 5 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter.
4:15, first quarter. Shotgun formation, need to get to the 1-yard line or touchdown. Bauscher looking the pass, goes to the corner. Peterson there and knocks it away. Incomplete, turnover on downs. Milbank is able to drive down inside the red zone, but the Vermillion defense, bend but don't break mentality, able to get a huge stop on 4th down.
You're exactly right. That was a 10-play drive, took 5 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock, and no points to show for it by this Milbank Bulldog squad. Very good job by the Tanager defense.
So 4:05 remaining in this first quarter. Vermillion took just 6 plays to score on their opening drive, and it was a plethora of guys that were able to help out, but Chapman was the main contributor to that, including 4 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown. He is out as a wide receiver at the moment. Hayden Christopherson is in shotgun formation. The pulling guard tells you it's going to be a run play the entire time, even though it was a hesitation up to the 15-yard line, to pick up a 4 yards for Hayden Christopherson and brings up 2nd down and 6.
think they might even give him a little bit of a lunge there at the end. Might count as a gain of 5. But just a really good job there by the offensive line. Milbank got a lot of pressure. They were just to kick him out with that pulling guard, and Christofferson, good hard run to get 5 yards.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Cole. Bring up 2nd down and 5. Again, I could see that play from all the way up here as Raleigh French was the pulling guard. You just had to follow where he was going. And it led you right to where Hayden Christofferson was able to pick up 5 yards. This time he'll go underneath center. Christofferson will back to pass. The pressure is on. He's going to slip through one tackle, looking downfield, and now throw it. It's going to be intercepted. There is a penalty flag back at the 21-yard line. Otherwise, an interception currently at the 44. The way Vermillion is moving around right now, it looks like it's going to be against them. They are indicating that's a hold against the Vermillion Tanagers, so the interception will stand, and the Milbank Bulldogs will take over 1st down and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Officially going to be a block in the back, but they are going to likely decline it. Just making sure. Yep, now they're going to decline it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Milbank Bulldogs on the Vermillion 45.
So after a good opening drive for the Vermillion Tanagers, the Milbank Bulldogs are able to pick off Hayden Christofferson as he was scrambling around trying to force something down the field, and Milbank read it perfectly. 2 refs are gathered together to make sure they are spotting this one correctly, that no extra yards needed to be added on. And it doesn't. It counts just as the interception. Penalty basically gets, as we heard, declined. And Milbank will set up 1st down and 10 at the 45. So shotgun formation for Braylon Boucher and the Milbank Bulldogs. They will hand off to Owen Tesh as he goes right up the middle. He picks up 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. Owen, by the way, already 7 carries for 21 yards. Also want to welcome in all the fans out there watching from the bean fields, taking out the crops already this time of year. Has Dale Larsh gotten to the field yet, Cole?
Yes, he is. He says he's got about 120 acres of beans out already.
All right, the guy is working hard.
I wouldn't say that.
Back to pass is Boucher, and this one is completed at the 40-yard line, and Connor Peterson strips it out, but it goes out of bounds, and if you're unfamiliar with the football rules, it will still be Milbank Bulldog football and also count as a completion of 4 yards. If he needs some help, by the way, Cole, we can get Nimke Farms over to help out Larsh. I believe they're just over 1,000 acres already taken out of beans so far. In Iowa, they're a little bit ahead of schedule, if you will.
Yeah, and like Father Dale was saying, he's just looking for spots that are dry enough to harvest about this time, and that's about all he's got so far.
Gary Nimke did say they're still playing green spots yet in Iowa, but just not probably as bad here as it is in South Dakota. Boucher on the quarterback keeper. He's going to sprint out at the 25-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 14 yards and a 1st down.
Just a really good job there. There's a severely heavy set one side, and then they motioned him over. Then all of a sudden it was a lead option with 3 lead blockers, and he just decided to keep it himself, and he did a good job and got his team 1st down.
2:29, 1st quarter. Milbank on their 2nd offensive possession. They were straight at the 11 last time. Boucher gets by 1, gets by 2, and then's going to lob it up in the air. It will go out of bounds and incomplete. But Cole with the pressure there for the Vermillion Tanagers. Bad angles, otherwise the right angles, that's coming down as a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, they're doing a really good job right now of just getting pressure on the quarterback, Boucher, and they're getting a lot of pressure on the line of scrimmage. They're getting past the offensive line quick, and you know, you can always teach angles. Right now you're more concerned about how much pressure you can get, try to stop this run attack.
Boucher is just 2 of 5 in the passing game for 3 yards so far tonight. Now it's going to be a designed quarterback keeper. He tries to bounce it to the outside, and a great play this time by number 23, Caleb Lara, to take him down in the backfield. A loss of 2 yards, and brings up a long 3rd down.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long 3rd down, and Milbank going to get right back up to the line once again. As you said, Lara with another impressive defensive play, and he's really spearheading this Vermillion defense so far in this 1st quarter.
So on 3rd down and 12, Milbank taking a little bit of time, looking down at the wrists, getting the play in, finally are getting set. Do have plenty of time, though, to get the play off. Finally do so. It's going to be a quick pass over to the numbers, but it's going to be beyond the reach of the intended target of Emmett Hansen. And he'll now bring up 4th down and 12. And the Milbank Bulldogs, they're going to stay out there, and they're going to try to convert another 4th down. It was what ended their drive last time at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, this is right about no man's land based on what was happening as I was watching in warm-ups. Their kicker was hitting about 32-yarders like they were chip shots about 3/4 of the way up that field goal, but this might be just outside of his range.
Ball at the 29-yard line. Need to get it down to the 16. Back to pass. Pump fake once. Going deep. This one's a dead duck, and it's going to be caught. Or as it falls incomplete, no, couldn't hold on to it. It had split the coverage of Peterson and Lara. Both of them thought that they had Esteban covered. Nobody did, and just Esteban couldn't bring it in, and it falls incomplete, luckily, for the Vermillion Tanagers, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Wow, Vermillion caught a big break because both Lara and Peterson were looking at that one, and neither one went to go cover Esteban.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that was, like you said, a dead duck in the air, and then both defenders just kind of went, oh, I thought you had it.
Yeah.
And luckily they broke it up at the last minute.
Hayden Christofferson will now go underneath center. They'll go right to Chapman. It was the run game that worked on the first drive before that interception from Hayden Christofferson. It's a pickup of 4 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Averaging 6 yards a carry, Chapman is. Already up to 30 yards rushing here in the ball game. 2nd down and 6. Ball spotted at the 33 as Hayden Christofferson will go underneath center, with Chapman behind him. He'll hand off to Chapman. This time Chapman doesn't necessarily hit the hole hard. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard or so, and he'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Chapman just really didn't have a hole right away. Maybe tried bouncing to the right side, saw that there was not even anything more there, and just tried finding any space he could. And now a medium 3rd down for the Tanagers. Interested to see. They do have to snap the ball here before the quarter break. Interested to see what their game plan is for this 3rd and 5.
The Tanagers again wearing their camouflage uniforms tonight for Military Appreciation Night. Also, it is homecoming night, or the homecoming football game, T-Week, as Milbank tries to play spoils to the celebration here in Vermillion, South Dakota. Back to pass. It's going to be a quick little pass over to Peterson. They do say he caught it at the 39-yard line, so it's right at the sticks. It should be enough for a 1st down. They have not signaled it yet. Again, right at the sticks, and now the official is saying it is enough for the 5-yard completion and a 1st down for the Vermillion Tanagers. Peterson has now caught his 2nd pass for 18 yards in the ballgame. And that will also end the 1st quarter. The Vermillion Tanagers lead 7-0 over the Milbank Bulldogs. We'll step aside. We're back with the 2nd quarter in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
Great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the Tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Give it off to Cisse, gliding to the basket. Out to 3, Jay Hayes. Good. And Eric Glenn wants to stop the music.
Back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Sounds like a nightclub in here at this moment. 7-0. moving into the second quarter between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs. Spencer Bewley, your take on that first quarter that we saw for the Vermillion Tanagers?
Awesome defense, held really strong in the red zone. I thought that was really impressive to force Milbank on 2 4th downs to come away with virtually nothing. I think that if you go to the offensive side, they've done a great job running the ball, which we said was going to be important for them to establish. And I think that Christofferson's one interception, is just kind of a mistake that you can eliminate. He tried to kind of throw back across his body, rolling out to the right when the receiver was running the other way. It's one of those things that's almost just a brain fart in a way, and I think that it's something that he can clean up, and I think that overall Vermillion's looked really, really good here in this first quarter.
False start before we even begin the second quarter, moves it back to the 29-yard line. 2 penalties against the Vermillion Tanagers already in the ball game, accumulating of 20 yards against them tonight.
Just quickly, while I got a second, first quarter stats first for Milbank, 15 plays, 59 yards. They've taken 7 minutes off the clock. They have 2 turnover on downs for them. We'll get to Vermillion's in a second.
It's going to be a fake handoff to Chapman and going deep over to Laura. And it's going to be caught for a first down, it looks like, all the way up to the 43-yard line for the Vermillion Tanagers.
I mean, just a really good play there, as you can see on our instant replay. Just a little back shoulder catch right there, right as you draw it up in practice. Can't really complain about that a whole lot. For Vermillion in that first half, 14 plays now officially with that, or excuse me, if I can do math, 15 plays. Just a total in that first quarter of about 80 yards and only about 4 minutes off the clock.
It's going to be a handoff underneath as they go back to Chapman, as Chapman's able to cut up all the way to about the 37-yard line for a pickup of 6 yards. How many total offensive yards did you say that Milbank had?
I had them for 59 offensive yards. What do you have them for?
I have them for 46.
Well, they had 43 in the first quarter. And 43 in the first drive and 16 on their second drive.
I don't keep it by drives. I only keep it by quarters.
Well, that's what they were by drives.
Fair enough. It'll be underneath center. Handoff to Chapman on 2nd down and 5. Able to get to the 35-yard line. Another pickup of 3 yards. And I bring up a very manageable 3rd down and 2.
And that right there, the 7th play of this Vermillion drive. And like you said, 3rd down and manageable. Drive started on their own 29-yard line. If my Mount Vernon math serves me correctly, 44 yards so far on this drive.
And Chapman already 8 carries for 40 yards here in the ball game.
34 on this drive. See, my Mount Vernon math did not help me out there too much.
Hayden Christofferson will go underneath center this time with 3 wide receivers split off to the far side. It's going to be designed quarterback keeper, as it's Cole Vermillion's designed way of the tush push, except nobody around to push him. He's just going to take the snap and go quickly right up the middle.
As long as you see that you like that offense or that defensive front that they're showing, you can give yourself a guaranteed 2-3 yards on that play. I do not mind that play one bit. If you're guaranteed that many yards, we had a similar play like that back in my high school days that we were guaranteed about 6 or 7 yards.
Hayden Christofferson has already accumulated 69 total yards of offense for the Vermillion Tanagers at the 9:32 mark of this second quarter. Shotgun formation by himself. Hayden Christofferson standing at the 36-yard line. Claps his hands together, and before we get it off, we're going to see a false start. Or a delay of game against the Vermillion Tanagers. I missed the back judge even counting down there. So move it back 5 yards. They'll bring up 1st down and 15. The second time that they have faced 1st down and 15 on this drive. The last time they picked it up. Again, we do have
that is true
play clock here in the Dome, but they do not operate it during high school games. Hayden Christofferson will go underneath center this time. Back to pass as he's looking over the middle, and it's going to be picked off. Caught at the 21-yard line. It's the 2nd interception for Hayden Christofferson tonight.
Yeah, just kind of forced that one a little bit. I mean, maybe not the greatest of passes in that scenario, and really didn't have anybody open, but just a really solid defensive play as you can see it there. Just kind of threw it in double coverage a little bit, and now Milbank gets it at their own 18-yard line.
And that was a drive that the Vermillion Tanagers were moving, but unfortunately they can not get really on the scoreboard again. 8:49 remaining in this first half. The Milbank Bulldogs still haven't scored, as now we are waiting, getting some whistles called. I believe we have the wrong football out there. What a Vermillion Tanager football looked like, and we needed a Milbank Bulldog football. So we switch out footballs, which again you are allowed, and I believe all levels?
We're going to need a clock reset as well.
54. 8:54 is what they want.
Looked right. They had that clock running the whole time, so 9 minutes. Well, they say they
that's
never.
Unfortunate because I just tallied up my drive summary and now I have to change it all.
Yeah, I'm not sure they ever actually stopped the clock when they made the interception and then changed possessions.
Yeah, so a little confusing there on just wrong ball. But in the end, it's going to be a wide receiver that goes in motion. They're going to flip it to him on the end around, and it's going to be a pickup of 12 yards and a first down for the Milbank Bulldogs.
This is a really good play, trying to stretch out this Vermillion defense. Milbank did a solid job as I look back to that Vermillion drive. 9 plays, 35 yards officially, 4:32 off the clock. Ended up in an interception.
Sam Rick was the ball carrier that time for the Milbank Bulldogs, taking it for 12 yards. Hand it off underneath to Owen Tesh this time. He bounces through a couple whoopee tacklers and finally taken down at the 35-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards.
We have a bird inside the Dakota Dome now. Not sure where it went. It's
I will
right
point out that is not an uncommon occurrence.
No, it is not. I believe you.
That is textbook, actually.
How do you guys get the birds out of the dome? Is there a procedure that we have to close our eyes and we do it the old-fashioned way?
Heath, I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't know. I think that at some point they may be able to wander over to that garage door and find their way out, but that's rarely opened and left open. So hard to say. I don't know. At some point, I guess they just stop flying around maybe.
I don't know how good my BB gun aim still is, but those BB bullets don't fly straight along.
I don't think that's the answer. I can almost promise you that.
Okay, well, that's the old-fashioned way I would do it. Hand off to Owen Tesh on 3rd down and 2. It's a jam right at the first down marker, but they do say it is enough for a first down, it looks like. As you guys say now, I can see that bird flying around over there on the right side.
Yeah, that bird's lost.
By trying to get out of the dome.
I will keep you updated if it's still here tomorrow. Spencer will be here tomorrow, too.
It's true.
Not as early as I will, though.
True.
Ball at the 39-yard line. First down and 10 for the Milbank Bulldogs. Fake the handoff and running around in just a little lob pass. They get complete to Emmett Hansen. And it's a pickup of 9 yards for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Milbank doing a really good job right now offensively of every single time that they roll out, they have 2 or 3 routes coming with the roll, and that's usually what we like to see, but it's a lot of levels. It's about a 3-yard route, about a 7 or 8-yard route, then about a 15-yard route, giving their quarterback a lot of options.
Kind of reminds you of what the Alabama head coach used to like to do back in the 1990s when he played for this Milbank Bulldogs team.
You're exactly right.
Pickup of 4 yards that time for Owen Tesh and another first down. Kalen DeBoer has a huge game coming up tomorrow. It's a game of the week, if you will. Alabama versus Georgia.
Gimme Bama. Close. 1 or 2 points.
At the 49, fake the handoff. It's going to be a design quarterback keep by Bauscher, and he's going to bounce it out to the first down marker. I think he's going to be a yard or 2 short. Then bring up 2nd down.
Did a really good job. He saw that his middle run right away was not there. Just a really good job bouncing it outside towards that far sideline, towards the Milbank sideline, and getting as many yards as he could.
6:20 remaining in this second quarter. Still a Tanagers lead 7-0 over the Milbank Bulldogs, but Bulldogs are moving on this drive. This time they're going to go right up the middle, test to the 40, as he'll pick up 2 yards. 12 carries for him tonight for 37.
8 plays, 42 yards so far for Milbank. 3 minutes off the clock on this drive.
And now we're going to see a penalty flag as guys were still getting set here. And on 3rd down and 1, Milbank would love a free first down, but it looks like it's going to be against the Bulldogs, which would be their first official penalty against them tonight. I say it is a false start. So move it back 5 yards and now make it a much more difficult 3rd down, I should say. On 3rd down and 6, upcoming for Milbank. Ball will be spotted at the 45. Needing to get to the 39-yard line are the Milbank Bulldogs. 2 wide receivers that will come to the near side. Shotgun formation with Bauscher standing at the 50. Owen Tesh to his left. They do have the fullback in as well, Milbank does, but it's going to be a quick pass, and it's going to be caught at the 39-yard line, enough for a first down, as that was caught by Esteban on the 6-yard pattern.
Yeah, and they've done that a lot of times in these 3rd downs, get these quick slant routes, almost run a 5-yard route, hope the receiver catches it, and dives forward for that first down. Textbook.
Only 3 completions for Braylon here in the ball game. It's been to 3 different receivers as well. And now he's just going to try to run up the middle off the fake handoff and get nowhere. A loss of a yard. And he'll bring up 2nd down and 11 for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Vermillion did a really good job right there, just blowing up that line of scrimmage, not giving Bauscher very many options when he kind of kept that ball. This is going to be a big play here. If you can hold Milbank to about 2-3 yards, get him into a 3rd and long situation, I think their defense is going to eat.
So now, on 2nd down and 11, shotgun formation. It's going to be the option play, and Bauscher in the end is just going to keep it as his running back turns into a blocker. Pickup of 2 yards and make it 3rd down and 9. Another long 3rd down, but so far on this drive, Milbank has done a nice job of keeping the drive alive.
That they have. This will be the 11th play of the drive for these Milbank Bulldogs. They've only gone into a huddle once. This one, a little bit more of a 3rd and long situation. Be curious to see. I don't think they're going to try the same slant route combination, but I would not be surprised either.
Also want to say hello to Joe Van Gore, who's out in Sturgis tonight, away from football action. He'll be back with us coming up next Friday right here inside the Dome. Another option play on 3rd down 9. They're going to pitch it out to Rick. Rick has nowhere to go. In fact, almost lost the football there as he was trying to hold on to it. A loss of a yard, and now it's going to bring up 4th down and long. And Cole, the first time tonight for either team, we're going to see the punt game.
Yes, we are. I mean, really good play right there by Bryce Voss, the junior linebacker, 6'2", 180. Read that option like a book, got out there, tackled the running back in space, forced Milbank to punt.
So again, ball is at the 39-yard line of the first punt for either team with 3:41 remaining before halftime. Vermillion scored on their opening drive, but that has been the only points. Riley French got a good jump and almost got the block. He came right through the middle untouched, and it's taking a roll and all the way back into the end zone as the big man Lucas Johnson was hustling after it, but couldn't quite down it at the 1. Vermillion will set up 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line. But Riley French, again, extremely close to blocking that punt. We'll see what Vermillion can do. Hayden Christopherson in the passing game so far this evening, 4 of 6 for 60 yards, but again has those 2 interceptions.
Last drive for Milbank, 12 plays, 41 yards, 5.5 minutes off the clock, and a punt.
Be a handoff to Chapman on 1st down and 10. Chapman bounces it to the outside. He has some space across the 30, up to the 35, and pushed out at the 36-yard line. A pickup of 16 yards and a 1st down for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Exactly the type of run you want to see right here to break open this drive. Get your backs away from your own end zone. Now you got a little bit of time to play with, but I don't think that's going to be on their mind. Get down the field while you can. Get in that end zone.
3:05, second quarter. Ball at the 36-yard line for the Vermillion Tanagers. Vermillion, by the way, does still have all 3 timeouts remaining as well. They are not in a hurry. 2 wide receivers split to either side. Christofferson claps his hands together. Back to pass, looking over the near side, gets hit as he throws, and Connor Pearson's able to go up, and he juggled it and caught it out of bounds, incomplete for the Vermillion Tanagers.
You're going to watch it back on the replay. Yep, it was bobbled as he was going down. I believe that is the correct call right there by our officials. Makes it 2nd down and 10. And like you said, Christofferson got hammered as he threw it.
A lot of fans continue to stay piled in here inside the Dakota Dome for homecoming week, which is great to see all these fans here in the Dome. A wonderful night, a beautiful night outside as well for football. But we have the luxury of playing inside the Dome.
Steely in 72.
And it's going to be a run play right to where there's no defensive lineman. I don't know how that was drawn up. They had 3 linemen off to the right side, nobody to the near side, and Chapman takes advantage of it, and he's going to pick up a nice 6 yards and make it a manageable 3rd down and 4 with the first timeout called. Tonight's broadcast here on Live Ticket TV is brought to you by Nutrient Ag Solutions. They provide full acre solutions through a network of trusted crop consultants. They help growers achieve the highest yields with the most sustainable solutions possible, offering a wide selection of products. Cole, what do you got going on around the state of South Dakota?
Well, not very many games going on as we are early. At Alcester Hudson, they lead Gayville-Vollen 30-0 with a minute left in the first quarter there. That's the only 9A score. 9B, no scores being reported, except for the Corsica-Stickney forfeit win over Colombe. 9AA, no games. 11B, Mobridge Pollock leads Bellefouche 14-6. And again, St. Thomas More defeated Lakota Tech earlier today. Those are the only 2 11A scores as well. 11AA, Roosevelt leads number 2 Brookings 19-14 with 3 minutes to go in the third. And T-Area leads Mitchell 26-0. Speaking of, Sioux Falls Roosevelt just scored, making it 26-14. And in AAA, Jefferson leads O'Gorman 27-0. Brandon Valley leads Rapid City Central 21-0.
So after the timeout for the Vermillion Tanagers, giving them 2 remaining for the quarter on 3rd down and 4, they put 1 in motion. They are going to hand it off to Chapman, and Chapman is going to find some space along the near sideline and pushed out of bounds at the 45. And a nice pickup for the Vermillion Tanagers of 13 yards.
I think a Vermillion Tanager got away with a pretty good block in the back there, but as our offensive line coach always used to say back at MVP, if they don't call it, it didn't happen.
Don't admit to it. Again, Tanagers set up camp at the 45-yard line as they've crossed over the 50. A nice drive going here again with 2:26, and Chapman going out of bounds does stop the clock. And I'll go right back to Chapman as Chapman finding more space along the near side, staying on his feet, and finally pushed out of bounds. They say at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 15 yards, and another first down for the Vermillion Tanagers.
5 plays, 50 yards so far for the Tanagers, just a minute and 9 seconds off the clock.
And Cole, the last 3 carries by Chapman have been for 13 yards or more, 16, 13, and 15. Underneath center goes Hayden Christofferson. They're going to hand it off to Chapman, and once again, Chapman will just bounce it to the outside, gets by 1 tackler, and wrestle down at about the 23-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards, and he'll bring up a manageable 2nd down and 3.
Exactly right. Now you're getting into this, the field position, I should say, where you can start taking your time a little bit. You know, you're down here at the 23. Obviously, you want to get points to the board. Clearly, you want a touchdown. But now, like they've shown so far in these last couple plays, just keep running the ball, keep milking this clock, because Milbank eventually going to start calling timeouts.
With 1:40 remaining in this first half, and as you mentioned, Cole, Tanagers definitely want to have the football last in this quarter. Back to pass is Hayden Christopherson. He's going to take off up the middle, and he is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, pick up maybe a yard, and he'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Head coach Tom O'Boyle will call a timeout here. We'll step aside. We'll take the timeout with them. We're back in a moment on Live Ticket TV.
Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Back here inside the Dakota Dome, 1:29 remaining on 3rd down and 2. Back to pass is Hayden Christopherson over the middle. He was looking for Connor Peterson. It falls incomplete. Peterson was looking for a flag. He's not going to get one. But Cole on 4th down and 2, we'll see the Vermillion Tanagers go for it, trying to pick up a big first down to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're in this short yardage situation where you can get away with going for it here, and you just need 2 yards. You don't need a touchdown pass right here. I mean, I like what they were doing, trying to take the shot. I would have liked it a little bit more on that 2nd down chance.
So on 4th down, they're going to hand it off to Chapman, who has space. He's up to the 15. He probably had more space if he just kept it inside, tried to bounce it to the outside, but nonetheless, it's a huge pickup of 10 yards and a first down for the Vermillion Tanagers, and with that carry, Chapman is over 100 yards rushing tonight.
And this is quite the drive that Vermillion's putting together. That was their 9th play of the drive, and just only 2 minutes off the clock.
2 wide receivers split to this near side. 1:02 remaining in the first half. Back to pass once again is Hayden Christopherson. Looks over, and it's intercepted again. 3rd interception for Hayden Christopherson. This one's going to be returned all the way up to the 20, and Hayden Christopherson right now needs to get something figured out, because another bad interception that kills the drive and kills a lot of momentum for the Vermillion Tanagers. Milbank still with 3 timeouts, 54 seconds, can go for the daily double as they get the football to start the second half as well.
Yeah, last 3 drives, all 4 drives for Vermillion. We had a 2-yard touchdown, interception, interception, interception.
In fact, Hayden Christopherson hasn't completed a pass in his last 4 attempts now. Tesh takes it for a yard. They'll bring up 2nd down and 1. It looks like we might even see Milbank conceding here at the moment and just going to work away this clock.
Remember, Milbank does get the ball to start the second half.
Mick Thompson is not in a hurry, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. Tell his team to run one more play, and he'll go into half trying to reset as he does find his team down, trailing by 7. Unless we're going to see something big here. So they're looking around the pass at the moment and just going to go out of bounds. And you could see that Boucher was trying to go down, and they are going to say that he was giving himself up to allow the clock to go just so we can go to half. Okay, I'll take it.
Veteran officials right there.
It's a loss of 6 yards in the end, and that is also the end of the first half, where again Vermillion scores on their opening drive. We have not seen any points since, and the Tanagers lead 7-0 as we head to halftime. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our first half statistics. We'll take a look at what little scores there are out there at the moment as kickoff is about to happen for a majority of the state and plenty more. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Since 1966, Louis Cleaning and Restoration has served the Vermillion and Southeast South Dakota area with high-quality work and even higher-quality customer service. At Vermillion's oldest cleaning and restoration company, they pride themselves on providing the best service with friendly, knowledgeable staff. They specialize in cleaning, offering extensive cleaning services with high-powered equipment at an affordable price. Check out their website for a full list of services they offer. And next time you need it clean, call Louis Cleaning and Restoration.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athletes.
A touchdown on the opening drive for the Vermillion Tanagers as they just took 6 plays to get on the board inside the Dakota Dome on H. Lauren Lewis Field. Otherwise, besides that, we haven't seen anything. We're 7-0 right now at halftime between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs. Let's take a look back at our first half statistics and what we have seen so far in this football game. Not that we haven't seen yards, because we have. Again, just have not seen the scoring to go with it. Another tough night for Hayden Christofferson in the passing game. He's 4 of 9 for 60 yards, but does have 3 interceptions in that first half. Has to try to stop forcing it down the field. The run game, though, after Vermillion has gotten away from it the past 2 games, has gotten back to it, and it's worked nicely. Total of 16 carries for 111 yards. Chapman with 13 carries for 101 yards. Also Hayden Christofferson, 10 yards in the football game. Hayden Christofferson has accumulated for 70 yards so far in the running game. The leading receiver tonight is actually for the Vermillion Tanagers, number 29 for them, Elijah Lara, who's caught 1 pass for 23 yards. Connor Pearson, 2 receptions for 18 yards, and also Chapman has caught in a pass for 19 yards in the ball game. On the opposite side, for the Milbank Bulldogs, Braylon Boucher is also 4 of 9 in the passing game, just for 18 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Owen Tesh is leading the way in rushing with 14 carries for 44 yards. Braylon Boucher, 8 carries for 25 yards, and Sam Rick, 2 carries for 11 yards, a total of 80 yards in the running game, or a total of 98 yards, total yards for the Milbank Bulldogs. For the Vermillion Tanagers, a total of 171 offensive yards in that first half. And as a look at your first half statistics, it's brought to you by First Bank and Trust. Enjoy the convenience of digital banking from anywhere, including fast and secure mobile and online options. This halftime show was brought to you by Dakota PC Warehouse. They specialize in sales of quality products that fit each individual or company's needs. They have a full-time service department as well to efficiently repair and service your desktop, laptop, tablet, and phone. Take it to Dakota PC Warehouse. Spencer Bewley, that is where you can take your laptop that is full of banana. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll get more into this first half with Cole Larsh and Spencer Bewley. That is on the way next here on Halftime.
Healthier crops and stronger yields. Count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank and Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank and Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a check mark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hey,
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Cole, you have more of stats for the drive breakdown when we take a look at this game so far. What do you have here in the first half for the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs?
Yeah, first half we can go drive by drive. First drive of the game for Vermillion. They open up 6 plays, 58 yards, 2.5 minutes off the clock. It was capped off by a Ryan Chapman 2-yard touchdown run with a PAT by Raleigh French. They go up 7-0. In the next drive, the Milbank Bulldogs go 10 plays, 43 yards. They get all the way down to the 11-yard line, take 5 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock, and they turn the ball over on downs. For Vermillion, the very next drive, they go 2 plays and 4 yards in 52 seconds, and they cap it off with an interception, the first one for Christofferson. Milbank, they had the ball to start at their own, at the Vermillion 45. They go 5 plays, 16 yards, a minute 42 off the clock, and a turnover on downs. So Vermillion gets the ball back on their own 29-yard line. They will go 9 plays, 35 yards, 4 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock, capped off with an interception. Milbank, again, this is now in your second quarter. Milbank gets the ball at their own 18-yard line. They proceed to go 12 plays, 41 net yards, 5 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock, and they punt the ball away from the Vermillion 41. Vermillion gets the ball as it rolls into the end zone for a touchback. They start at the 20. They go 10 plays, 68 yards officially, 2 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock, and an interception. And Milbank, for the final drive of the half, 2 plays, -5 yards, 54 seconds. For the team totals, first for Milbank, 29 plays, 95 yards, 13:32 off the clock for the Milbank Bulldogs. For Vermillion, 27 plays, 166 total yards of offense, 10:29 off the clock in the first half, and that's your drive summary. Again, a reminder, Milbank starts with the ball in the second half.
7-0 here at halftime between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Milbank Bulldogs. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at scores from across the state of South Dakota. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
To start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Spacious guest rooms and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water playland, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding
7-0 here at halftime.
In 9A, Alcester Hudson leads Gable Vollen 38-0. That's really the only game that got going there. A lot of 7-0 and 8-0 scores there. Hamlin leads Redfield 8-0. They just started there. Wall leads Stanley County 7-0. We move up to 11B. Mount Vernon Plankton leads Chamberlain 6-0. Bridgewater Emory Ethan leads Baltic 6-0. Sioux Valley leads Dual 7-0. And like you said, Winter leads Miller 7-0 there as well. Here inside the Dakota Dome, Vermillion leads Milbank at halftime 7-0. Any other A games? Mobridge Pollock leads Belfouche 22-6. Up in AA, Roosevelt leads Brookings 26-14. T area leads Mitchell 33-0, and we move up to AAA. Jefferson leads O'Gorman 34-0, and Brandon Valley leads Rapid City Central 28-0 at the half. That's a look from scores across the state of South Dakota. And you can also see them on your SD score feed app on the bottom part of your screen.
7-0 right now. Vermillion leads it over Milbank. Spencer Bewley, what does Vermillion have to do to get things going offensively here in this second half and, well, ultimately avoid the interceptions from Hayden Christofferson?
Well, my answer is what you just said. I think it starts with avoiding the interceptions. I think that overall they did a great job running the ball, and I think that, you know, when you get down in the red zone, you know, it's hard to say what exactly is going on with Hayden Christofferson. Could just be kind of a mental snowball effect right now where he's a little bit timid nervous with the ball in his hands. You know, it's kind of a situation where you get the ball in your hands as a quarterback, and the first thing you're thinking is don't throw an interception, as opposed to being calm, collected, and finding the open guy. I think that last one in the end zone was just more of a timing thing. I think that he had the right read and was just a hair late to it. But I think in a moment like this where you're playing a pretty solid Milbank team and you're up 7-0, I think that you stick with running the ball closer in the red zone, and that's been what's working for them, so I say they stay with it.
Cole Larsh, same analogy for you. What does Milbank have to do when it comes to getting on the scoreboard?
Well, I think it ultimately comes down to finishing the drives. I know I was going through their drives a little bit. They got down to the 11-yard line. They got down to the 29-yard line, and they were driving pretty good, and they ended up just on the 41 after a couple of big losses. You got to start getting down there towards the red zone a little bit and finish these drives, and I think a big part of it is they're spending a lot of time getting these plays, and they're trying to go quick. And they've ran a 10-play drive and also a 12-play drive in this game, and they just kind of, for lack of better terms, petered out in the end a little bit because they didn't have enough energy to finish out the drive. I think that's going to be a big tell in what needs to happen here in the second half. They got to finish these drives once they get close. Once you get in plus territory, you got to put your foot on the gas.
7-0. The Vermillion Tanagers led it after just 6 plays here inside the Dakota Dome. And since then, they've done exactly the same. We have not seen any points since then either. Again, 7-0 here at halftime. As halftime has been brought to you here on Live Ticket TV by Thermobond Buildings in Elk Point, Jefferson, and also Leo's Sports Bar. Daily happy hours begin at 3 and always have the games on no matter what team in red is playing. If you can't make it to the Tanager games, make Leo's your home. Hey, Cole, speaking of, you know what we could do after tonight's game here in the Dome? We could head over to Leo's and watch some college football that's on. I know the Big Ten is playing. I know the University of Miami, Go Canes, is also playing. I don't like them.
The only important college football game of the weekend was yesterday when Army beat Troy by 30 points.
God bless America. Why does Army not have a bigger, Navy as well, Air Force, how do those not have a bigger following from America's public? Like, let's be honest, we all forget that those guys also serve our armed forces. Like, if you play on Army's football team, you're also serving the Army. Like, how cool are you as just a human?
I don't know what you're talking about. I watched 2/3 of the game.
You're a soldier and an athlete. It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
It's a commitment. I got a couple folks that I know that one of them's a track athlete at Army and one of them's a football player at Navy, and it's not easy. We'll leave it at that.
And here on Military Appreciation Night, we thank all our members of the armed services, foreign and abroad, for serving our country each and every day. Riley French kicks it low once again. Milbank has some space as they return it all the way to about the 50-yard line. The short squib kick like this is to eliminate a big run back. But Cole, maybe we might want to start kicking it deep.
Tee her high and let her fly. That's what I like to say in golf. You guys have both witnessed me on the golf course. I may not tee it up the highest. I may not hit it the farthest, but I sure try.
You're not a stinger guy. Tee it high, send it low. None of that for you?
I am not good enough to hit an intentional stinger.
Never intentional.
I'm a guy that says, keep your eyes on the ball, keep your eyes on the ball. Swing, strike one.
He's the guy that goes up there and says, please hit it, please hit it, please hit it, please hit it. Hey, I have those days too, don't you worry.
Here we go. Start of the third quarter. Play number 1 for the Milbank Bulldogs as they have it, again, beginning at the 50-yard line. It's going to be a little shovel pass right underneath, and Vermillion was all over it, not surprising anybody. And it will be a pickup of a yard or so. Second down and 9.
In theory, that's a really good play design, just really good defense right there by Vermillion, and it starts up front with their big D lineman getting that push forward, blowing it up, so this really has no option for that receiver to go.
Lots of tenacity from the Vermillion Tanagers defense here tonight. They are gang tackling. They are all over the ball.
Pickup of 3 yards for Owen Tesher. Third down and 7 upcoming. I want to see the Vermillion defensive line here again because that last formation looked a little weird. looked like they had a few guys that weren't even lined up on the ball, and this time they do. I don't know what was happening on that last play, but they had a couple guys that were 2 yards off. It was already a free yard for them to run the football, and now miscommunication on the slant route falls incomplete, so it's going to be a 3 and out for the Milbank Bulldogs. Now, punting situation, the second punt of the football game. And Cole, when you say 7-0, usually you're expecting a whole lot more punting, but we have not seen that.
Yeah, again, like you said, just the second punt. However, we have seen 2 turnovers on down and 3 interceptions, a touchdown and a punt, and now make it 2 punts after this play here.
So again, 4th down and 6. Punted away. Again, Riley French almost gets to it. Takes a bounce at the 25. They'll have a slight roll for the Milbank Bulldogs as they down it immediately. Could probably let that go a little bit more, but they down it at the 24-yard line, and Vermillion will set up 1st down and 10. Again, Vermillion has had a lot of success moving the football. That has not been the question for them tonight. It's all about just avoiding the turnovers now for the Tanagers.
You're exactly right. They've gotten some really good drives and just some costly interceptions. 2 of them pretty close to that goal line when they're trying to push ahead, and then one just over the middle of the field. You could almost consider it an arm punt.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 24-yard line. Shotgun formation for Hayden Christopherson as he's going to hand it off to Chapman. Chapman will cut it up in the middle and get down to the 27-yard line. A pickup of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7.
They did a really good job there of kind of cutting that one up, following his blockers really well as he saw that his blockers were pushing the defenders out. He decided to cut it up, give himself those 4 yards.
So 2nd down and 6 with the ball at the 28-yard line. Shotgun formation for Hayden Christopherson. And there is going to be a penalty flag that is called. And it looks like it's going to be a false start against the Vermillion Tanagers and move it back 5 yards. And I'll bring up 2nd down and 11. It's the 4th penalty tonight on the Vermillion Tanagers that has gone against them. Ball at the 24-yard line now.
I was just going to ask, what are your penalty stats over there looking like?
4 penalties against the Vermillion Tanagers for 30 yards. 1 penalty against the Milbank Bulldogs for 5 yards. Got to get it set up correctly. Able to finally do so. Again, has to be down at the 23. And here we go. 2nd down and 11. 10:03, 3rd quarter. And Christopherson, a low snap, is going to hand it off to Chapman as he bounces it up the far hash. As they get back to basically the 5 yards. And I'll bring up 3rd down and 7 upcoming for the Vermillion Tanagers.
One thing I have noticed is a lot of these plays, it's just simply Chapman following the block of Riley French. Wherever he goes, Chapman's following right behind, and they're getting quite a few yards. Just that costly false start backed him up. Now they got a 3rd and medium long almost. Still pretty manageable though.
And if fans are just tuning into the broadcast here, think this one kicked off at 7 o'clock tonight, going, we're already in the 3rd quarter. This game got moved up an hour due to the travel for the Milbank Bulldogs. That is why we're so ahead of schedule. It will be a keeper by Hayden Christopherson. He needed to get to the 34. He got to the 35, and it's a pickup of 7 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, you see right there, as I just pointed him out, Riley French, big-time pancake block up front. Get that line a-moving and make that hole wide open for Chapman to run through. Solid blocking and a solid run. 1st and 10.
Yeah, Hayden Christopherson on the carry for 7 yards and the quarterback keeper that time.
What did I say?
Chapman.
Oh, my fault. I was too busy watching the offensive lineman. My apologies.
Hey, someone's got to watch him. Someone's got to give him some love out there. It will be a handoff this time to Chapman. And speaking of the offensive line, they create a hole that a semi-truck could go through. And it's a pickup of 6 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 4. No, 7 yards there.
Yeah, went back and went into a little bit of a jumbo package, brought in an extra guy on the line of scrimmage once again. Riley French pulled to that right side, kicked out the guy. I mean, I think I could have ran through that hole.
2nd down and 3, ball at the 42-yard line at 8:15, 3rd quarter. Hand off to Chapman as he's going to bully his way forward. And he's going to get to the 41. It's a pickup of 4 yards and in their 1st down for the Vermillion Tanagers. Cole as well. If you want to beat up Spencer Bewley later, you can. He was giving you some looks over there.
I didn't start it.
I did start it. That was me.
No horseplay in the lab, fellas.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm down here in the production truck.
Ball at the 46-yard line, first down and 10.
Too.
7-0. 7:43, third quarter. Hayden Christopherson is telling Chapman where to go, looking around, counting down. Vermillion has to get this one off. One in motion. They will do so in time. They'll follow the lead block of Peterson, and Chapman is up to the 45 and ushered out at the 42-yard line. Nearly put him back at the 43. But another pickup of 13 yards and a first down for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yeah, 32 yards and 6 plays so far on this drive. Keep the rock moving, keep the chains moving as well. Just can't let the momentum start to slow up once you get close to that goal line. Keep the train rolling.
Chapman, 18 carries for 132 yards tonight. Completely different from what we have seen Vermillion run the past 2 weeks. They're going to hand off to Chapman once again. This time it was a good cornerback blitz, as making the first contact that time was Michael Thompson, and it will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, second down.
Yeah, just a good blitz off the edge that time. And just, not a lot going there for Chapman. Just kind of got wrapped up. Actually broke that first tackle, then that second tackler was right there at the line of scrimmage to meet him. See what Vermillion does here on 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, ball at the 43. Hayden Christopherson, shotgun standing at the 48. 2 wide receivers to the near side. It's going to be a design quarterback keeper, as Christopherson will go right up the middle. He'll get down to the 37-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards, and it'll be a manageable third down.
Man, Heath, I think we need to invest in an end zone camera and a telestrator for me. I mean, I would love to dissect what this Vermillion offensive line is doing right now. They're chipping the guy at the line of scrimmage, rolling up to those linebackers up there, just giving Christopherson a wide open lane to run, get that 7 yards.
We do give you a mic so you can break it down as much as you want to.
I try.
Third down and 4, ball at the 37-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Chapman as he finds some space up the middle. Chapman cuts it to the outside, and the turf monster gets him at the 13-yard line and stumbles his way down to the 10. A pickup of 27 yards, and it's a first down for the Vermillion Tanagers inside the red zone.
I tell you what, that 15-yard line claims another victim here on H. Lauren Lewis Field in the Dakota Dome. The new turf this year.
What has been a friendly facility to the Coyotes so far this year, inside the top 5 in the FCS. First down and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Chapman as Chapman blows his way up to the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6 yards and a second down and 4.
Yeah, just another really good run. Lower the shoulder. And gets 7. I actually gave him 7 yards out of it down to that 5-yard line. I didn't quite think he had that much. This will be the 11th play of the drive. Vermillion has taken 5.5 minutes off the clock here in the third quarter, trying to make this a 2-score ball game.
Milbank went 3 and out on their first drive. 2 wide receivers to the far side. You expect Chapman to carry it again. Hayden Christopherson claps his hands together. They're going to hand it off to Chapman. This time Milbank was expecting the run, and it's going to be back to the line of scrimmage, a loss of a yard, and now third down.
And one thing that I've noticed too is on that last run, Chapman, he saw the hole open right away, but he's bounced it out at the last couple plays, and it's worked for him. That time it didn't. He just needs to trust his offensive line. If you have to, put a face mask in their back. I mean, the lineman's not going to like it, but that'll tell him, get out of the hole when the train's coming through.
So now on third down and 5, Vermillion trying to punch it in. They have failed last time they were inside the red zone with a Hayden Christopherson interception. Speaking of, he's back to pass. He's going to get to his man, Connor Pearson, who fumbles. It's going to go out of bounds at the 1-yard line. My goodness, Vermillion just caught a very, very lucky break. It should also Oh, I don't know if it should be a first down, though, Cole, because you can't advance the football on a fumble.
But he did fumble it at the 1.
Did he? I thought it was closer to the 2-yard line, so that should be enough for the first down.
I got it on a replay here. Let's watch it again. As we pull it up on replay, he goes forward. He fumbled it about the 2-yard line. It went out at the 1. So if anything, they're going to mark it. They're going to mark it at the 1.
Yeah, they're giving him a first, or they haven't, I don't think, actually indicated a first down.
They're going to measure.
And again, and right now Vermillion is getting extremely lucky at the moment because it should be 4th down and 1. You get the football back if it goes out of bounds, but you cannot advance the football forward on a fumble.
And one thing that happens too, if that ball touches the pylon at all, that's considered going out of the end zone. Then it's a touchback, and ball goes to Milbank at the 20-yard line.
What a crazy little sequence we have right now. So again, the chains are out. They're going to pull it tight here to measure to see if it's enough for a first down, and it clearly is. So Vermillion catches 2 lucky breaks. A fumble forward for an extra yard that shouldn't have happened.
Let's watch this replay one more time. Spencer, get down here and rule on this. I think he's making stuff up.
What I'm looking up here. Okay, well, let's watch it.
And there's the fumble. He's at the 1.
So, well, okay.
It looks like the 2 to me. It's close.
But if it's at the 1.5, a lot of these refereeing crews will spot it on the yard line.
Then they're giving him a friendly spot. And a fumble as well, it just barely avoids the turnover. Now on 1st down and goal, Hayden Christopherson will go underneath center. Going to hand it off to Chapman and try to finish off the drive. He will not get there, and it brings up 2nd down and goal.
That was the 13th play of this long drive for the Vermillion Tanagers. If they were to score, that would make it on this here a 14-play, 76-yard drive. 7 minutes off the clock here in the second quarter.
It's been a very, very quick-moving football game here tonight with 3:37 and rolling in the third quarter. Christopherson goes underneath center once again on 2nd down and goal. Handed off to Chapman. Plenty of room for him to get in. And Chapman is in for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. And on a homecoming night, the Tanagers now lead it 13-0 over the Milbank Bulldogs.
What a drive, Heath. I mean, that is exactly what you want from this Tanagers squad. Officially 7 minutes, 20 seconds off the clock.
Now Raleigh French out to kick the extra point with the Tanagers that again are leading now by 13 here on homecoming night against the Milbank Bulldogs. Snap is clean, put down by Christopherson, but it's going to be blocked by the Milbank Bulldogs. Extra point no good. 13-0 with 3:26 remaining in the third. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed. And you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athletes.
Spencer Bewley has been bullied all night up here in the broadcast.
No, I have.
Pick up by Milbank on the short kick. A return up to about the 40-yard line. Will they take over 1st down and 10? I just feel like every time Spencer has something to say, we just cut him off.
No. I wouldn't say I've been bullied today. I would say 2 years.
didn't just start today. It's been going on for quite some time. This is why Joe Van Gore has been brought into the fold. And now we're throwing pens up here.
Because it sucks.
My goodness, there is just things flying around. Milbank has not gotten on the scoreboard yet. They trail 13-0. They went 3 and out on their opening drive of this second half. Can they get some offense going? They were able to do so in the first half, just never scoring though. Here we go, on 1st down and 10. Bowsher shotgun formation for the Bulldogs as he puts Rick in motion. And with all that tenacity, we're going to see a timeout called by Mick Thompson. So no 5-yard penalty. Again, the timeout was called before the penalty flag. As again, it was announced here in the Dome, penalty flag. Cole, any quick score updates that you have for us across the state of South Dakota? You know what? I know that's not going to happen. So.
Yes, it is. I got it up right now. Sioux Falls Roosevelt leads Brookings 26-21. Brookings has the ball with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter there. Sioux Falls Jefferson leads O'Gorman 34-7. Harrisburg leads Stevens 14-0 as we move down to AA. Tee up big over Spearfish. Yankton leads Pierre 14-0. 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Watertown up on Douglas. We move down to 11A. Lennox leads Dakota Valley 12-0 at the end of the first. Del Rapids leads Tri-Valley 6-0 end of the first. West Central and Canton tied at 7 end of the first. Sioux Falls Christian leads Madison 21-0, as does Rapid City Christian leading Hot Springs 21-0.
1st down and 10 after the timeout for the Milbank Bulldogs, but one in motion. Looks like it's the exact same play. Going to scramble out Bowsher to the far side, looking downfield, and just got leveled. I don't think he was paying attention to Caleb Lara, who laid the hit stick, and it's a big loss for the Milbank Bulldogs on 1st down.
Different spelling. Oh, sorry. He's showing me
Talking
pictures
about
of
referee Mick Thompson.
No, it's head coach Mick Thompson.
Head coach Mick Thompson
of the Milbank Bulldogs. There's a Mick Thompson who is a member of the band Slipknot. Spelled differently.
Spot all the way up to the 44-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards. That looked like it was a friendly spot for Owen Tesh. 53 yards in the running game tonight for Owen Tesh on 16 carries. Chapman on the opposite side, 24 carries for 2 touchdowns and 165 yards. Tesh another yard carry, and he'll bring up 4th down for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Good defensive stop there by Vermillion, just only allowing 1 yard. Big 4th and 4 here. This is a very pivotal play for both squads. Milbank has got to convert. They got trips to the left, single receiver to the right, and a single back formation.
Yeah, big 4th down. Let's see what Milbank can do on this 4th down. It's Bowsher, back to pass, pump fakes once, and now he's got to step up in the pocket, nowhere to go. Dane Richardson lays the final lick. It's a loss of 5 yards and a turnover on downs as the Vermillion Tanagers will take over in plus territory.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Heath.
So now Vermillion with 1:25 remaining in this third quarter, up 13-0. It's just about working the clock for them, and they've been extremely successful in doing that with this run game tonight.
So far in the second half for Milbank, they've run 8 plays, 7 yards, 3 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock, a punt and a turnover on downs.
Take over at the 42-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Chapman as he bounces it to the near hash and cuts it up at about the 36. There is a late penalty flag that's coming in, and it looks like it's going to be a holding as they explain to the offensive lineman, Bulferson, that he was holding on the outside of the shoulder pads, not inside. So he'll move it backwards, and he'll bring up still, though, 1st down for the Vermillion Tanagers. Looks like it'll be right at the line of scrimmage when they throw that penalty flag as well. So I believe it will be a loss of 10 yards. So we'll move it back to beyond the 50-yard line. Should move it back to the 48. The backside of the SD logo here inside the dome. The officials are getting together.
Yeah, it should be 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
But again, it looks like they are saying that it was at the 42, which was the line of scrimmage. Yeah, spot. Okay. 5 penalties against the Vermillion Tanagers tonight for 40 yards. And move it back to the 48. So everything we told you about 30 seconds earlier, the officials finally all got together and said the same exact thing.
But, hey, glad they got together and got it right.
You're exactly right. You are exactly right.
Usually I am.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Shotgun formation on 1st down and 20. Hand off to Chapman as he's going to go all the way to the out-of-bounds line. Stiff arms 1, stays on his feet as he gets by a second. This guy's running like a man possessed out there. Picks up 19 yards. He'll bring up 2nd down and 1.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. What a run.
My goodness. Just stiffed arm 1 out of bounds, avoided a 2nd tackle, and is able to get 19 yards on the carry.
Took a page out of Derrick Henry's book right there.
He did. Big man rumbling downfield up to the 33-yard line. Second down and 1. Hayden Christopherson will go underneath center on the design quarterback keeper. That easily works for another 4 yards. And a 1st down for the Vermillion Tanagers. Well, after we saw the passing game the past couple of weeks for the Vermillion Tanagers, Hayden Christopherson has just thrown it 5 of 10 in the football game for 65 yards and 3 interceptions.
But the run game is working, so you might as well keep sticking to it, as I believe Coach O'Boyle is going to take it to the 4th quarter.
13-0 as we head to the 4th. The final frame comes up in just a moment on Live Ticket TV. So, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Here we go. It's the start of the 4th quarter with a carry from Beal this time, the new running back out there for the Vermillion Tanagers. And it was just to give Chapman a breather, as Beal will get right back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
As I turn it over to my cameraman, Spencer Bewley. Spencer, not a lot that Vermillion has to do in this fourth quarter. Just keep running the clock.
I agree. Just keep running the football. I mean, I don't really see them going away from that anytime soon. Chapman's been a workhorse back there, so yeah, I agree. Just don't change anything. Keep pushing on the offensive line.
It's going to be a handoff once again to Chapman as he's able to cut it upfield nicely for another big carry. Bring up third down and 3 with clock rolling quickly already for the Vermillion Tanagers in their favor. 191 yards rushing tonight for Chapman.
And just on this drive, only 4 official plays, but 38 offensive yards for the Tanagers. Let's see how much of this clock they can work.
A touchdown here would certainly put this game away, and it would be a beautiful homecoming victory tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. On 3rd down and 4. Fake the handoff to Chapman. It's going to be a quarterback keeper as Hayden Christopher was able to get through 2 tacklers and all the way up to the 19-yard line. Or was it the 18? He needs to get to the 18 for the first down, depending on where they spot it at. It looks like he's going to be just short, getting 4th down and 1 upcoming.
Yeah, just right at the end of that, he tried juking a little bit. I think if he just lowers his shoulder down, kind of leans forward a little bit more, I think he gets that yard, and we're looking at 1st and 10.
So 4th down and 1 instead. With Chapman, the running back, Hayden Christopherson in shotgun formation. Kind of surprised to see them not go underneath center, but they are bringing the blitz right up the middle. It's a bad snap. Ball is still loose, and in the end, it's almost like a block punt on 4th down as the Milbank Bulldogs are able to get on top of it, force their 4th turnover of the football game, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for Milbank at the 28-yard line.
Well, not exactly what you wanted to happen right there if you're the Vermillion Tanagers.
Game's certainly not over with yet. A very good spot for the Vermillion Tanagers. With 3 wide receivers over to this near side. For the Milbank Bulldogs, as they'll set up 1st down and 10. They'll go right up the middle with Owen Tesh. He picks up 6 yards. The one good thing for Vermillion is Cole Milbank really doesn't have a passing game. They, so far, are just 5 of 11 for 19 yards in the football game. And when they need to be passing, now is the opportunity. We'll see if they don't start trying to air it out a bit more. Bowsher is back to pass now. Got to step up in the pocket, but 4 different Tanagers flock to him. It's a pickup of 2 yards. 3rd down and 3 upcoming.
My apologies, Heath. I just did some very unimpressive math.
Looked like you were kind of concentrating, and we know with your math skills that could be there for the next 2 years before we get you back.
I couldn't figure out 31 minus 8.
Well, you know that will happen. It's 23, by the way, Cole.
It is. I got that eventually.
3rd down and 3. It's going to be a handoff to Owen Tesh. 3 Tanagers meet him in the backfield, including Laura and Raleigh French. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit shorter 4th down than that. I think they're going to spot him right at the 35, so give him about 4th and 3. Definitely manageable for Milbank, but I don't think you want to try and run it again. Vermillion committing pretty good to the run so far, playing a little bit of cover 0, not a lot of help over the top.
And now, back to pass, just a simple lob one in the air. It's going to be batted away. Nice job, actually, there to bat it away by Elijah Lara, because if he intercepts that, actually, starting worst field position, falls incomplete. Vermillion will take over 1st down and 10 at the the 35-yard line.
Well, good thing Vermillion's got a pretty solid defense as they get the ball back in plus territory once again at the 35-yard line. Now, once again, just keep on running the ball, keep milking this clock.
Pretty simple philosophy. We're going to see 3 straight runs here by Vermillion, see where they're at. Hand off to Chapman. Milbank is bringing the doghouse. It's a pickup of 2 yards. All-out blitz there to stop the run. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. Fans, don't forget, you can watch the bottom of our screen there, have scrolls rolling across from across the state of South Dakota. As well, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get notified anytime we go live with sporting events. We have more volleyball and football coming up next week, including welcoming the #1 team in Class 11A, Sioux Falls Christian, to the Dome next week. Handoff once again to Chapman as they bleed out more of this clock down to the 30-yard line. So pickup of 3 yards for Chapman, and they'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Vermillion Tanagers. 196 yards rushing tonight for Chapman. If you took the over on his 50 yards or more on your betting, then you easily hit tonight. No question about that. Opposite side, though, passing for Hayden Christofferson. Again, just 5 of 10 for 65 yards this evening. Watching the back judge count down the final 10 seconds here. Hayden Christofferson will now go underneath center to use as much of this clock as they possibly can. And Chapman needs to get 5, and he's going to pick up 10. 1st down for the Vermillion Tanagers just outside the red zone. And with that, Chapman now over 200 yards in the run game tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. We're also going to get a timeout called by Coach Mick Thompson. We're going to step aside. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Ball at the 21-yard line where the Vermillion Tanagers will take over 1st and 10 with 6:27 remaining here on a homecoming night. That's going to be a quick little pass out to Chapman. It was behind him, they say. So Chapman's able to pick it up inside the 10, and he's pushed out at the 8-yard line. A pickup of 13 yards on technically the run there, because it being a backwards play and dropped by Chapman. Nonetheless, it's going to be 1st and goal. The officials are getting together to make sure that it wasn't called incomplete. They do say get together and now say it's incomplete. So in the end, the pass was forward. 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Got to complete the simple wide receiver screen.
Yeah, it's not good for Vermillion there to stop the clock. Obviously a loss of down as well. That hurts. Because you mentioned before, Heath, this game is not over at all.
Coach Culver's trying to get his explanation as much as he possibly can. They disagree with it, and there's just constant talk to the near official. As he's got 3 different coaches going at him. He's got Tom O'Boyle. Louie's down there, give him an earful. Gary Culver. Tom O'Boyle is still trying to explain his case. There's madness going on this nearest sideline right now that Vermillion is not happy with the call. They also want to reset the clock.
6:25.
With 6:25 remaining. So 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 21-yard line. We're finally ready to go here in the 4th quarter. Hayden Christofferson will go underneath center to hand it off to Chapman. Chapman has 3 different Bulldogs in the backfield, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll bring up now 3rd down and 10 for Vermillion. .6:05 remaining in the quarter. Again, Vermillion leads 13-0 in what has been a quick-moving game so far tonight. Again, fans, if you're just tuning in or tuned in a little bit ago thinking this one was kicking off at 7 o'clock, it kicked off at 6 o'clock this evening. Due to the travel for the Milbank Bulldogs, moved it up just an hour. Tanager also wearing their camouflage uniforms to honor our military services on Military Appreciation Night. Right back to the line of scrimmage once again, maybe a yard this time for Chapman. Again, 206 yards in the running game tonight for Chapman. And with 5:25, they can get this under 5. Vermillion Tanagers can. It will be 4th down and 9. They will also be going for it. The opposite side, the Milbank Bulldogs, it has not been a very successful second half for them as they have struggled to get the football moving. In fact, I believe it's less than 20 yards offensively in this second half.
14 offensive yards for the Milbank Bulldogs here in half number 2.
Vermillion's going to let this go all the way down to the final second and then call a timeout with 4:52 remaining in the fourth quarter. Again, as we take a look at scores down the bottom of our feed there, let's take a look at things going on in Class 11A, more specifically, that what we're seeing.
Yeah, Class 11A scores. Del Rapids leads Tri-Valley 21-0. That's just about halftime. Lennox leads Dakota Valley 20-0. 7 minutes to go in the second. Sioux Falls Christian leads Madison 28-0, as does Rapid City Christian over Hot Springs 28-0. And West Central and Canton are tied at 14 apiece with 9 minutes left to go in the second quarter there. In 11B, the Mount Vernon Plankton Titans are up on Chamberlain 26-0. Want to keep going?
I'm just curious why you're giving us the Mount Vernon Plankinton score.
Well, geez, I wonder why.
Did he get any more touchdowns tonight?
No, my brother plays offensive line.
Well, he had that block punt that one time. He could have picked that one up and went for a touchdown.
He said he didn't even know that was still in bounds.
Oh, Jack. Any other scores you got for us, Cole?
I'm just trying to look for scores from around the area. I'm not seeing a whole lot that kind of pop out at me. Yankton still leads Pierre 14-0. That one just started the second quarter there. Other than that, not a lot of very close area games.
All right, back into action on 4th down and 9. Vermillion obviously going to go for it, have nothing to lose with the ball at the 20-yard line. It's going to be a pass completed and getting into the end zone. Vermillion Tanagers. This one is Caleb Lara on the completion, and Vermillion now leads it 19-0 over the Milbank Bulldogs. And on homecoming night, Vermillion is going to advance to 2-3 on the season.
Just a really good play right there. I don't think Milbank was really expecting to go for that deep ball, and good job by Lara getting the ball while he could and reaching across that goal line stripe.
And good for Hayden Christofferson to get a passing touchdown this evening. Raleigh French had his last extra point blocked. See if he can't put this one through the uprights. He's able to do so. Vermillion leads it 20-0 over Milbank with 4:46 remaining here in the ball game. Let's step aside. We're back with the final few minutes inside the dome here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
Individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Back here inside the Dakota Dome, as Milbank is able to return the football to the 40-yard line. Milbank will take over first down and 10. Cole, you just mentioned it a little bit ago. 14 total yards offensively for Milbank in this second half. And trailing 7-0 at halftime. Any given moment, they could get right back into this game, but this second half certainly has not gone their way.
Yeah, they had a lot of chances, just a 3-and-out for a punt, and a 3-and-out with a turnover on downs, and another 3-and-out with a turnover on downs so far. Those have been their 3 offensive drives. Got to give a lot of credit to this Vermillion defense, though, as you can see it, and that ball is going to get stuck in the low.
Oh, no, we need that football, too.
Well, somebody's on the rescue. It's the next one over.
No,
it's the next
one over. Oh, are they going to hop it? Oh, one more over. All right, go. Okay, run. Find the door. Found the door. Now I got to find the football. We're looking. There it is. We got the football back. Now the kid's got to throw it back. Unfortunately, don't get to keep the high school ones. Back into action here on the slant route, completed for 12 yards and a first down for the Milbank Bulldogs. Nice shot by Spencer Gilly to get the little kid getting the football back.
Crucial for the broadcast.
Nice job is kind of a stretch.
Wow. First down and 10, ball at the 48-yard line. Boucher, shotgun formation, fakes the handoff. It's going to be another quick throw. This one is going to be caught again nicely, that time by Sam Rick. Rick picks up 7 yards, and he'll bring up second down and 3.
And now Milbank mixing a little bit of the passes. You know, they got to somehow give themselves a chance. They got to get down there quick. And, I mean, this is the most offense we've seen from them in quite some time, other than that 12-play, 41-yard drive back in that second quarter.
Fake the handoff, pass once again. They're going to find Sam Rick once again. They just keep going right back to Rick on every single play. Gets up 5 yards, but it's a first down for the Milbank Bulldogs. 43 yards in the passing game tonight. Braylon Boucher for the Milbank Bulldogs.
Yeah, just another simple levels concept. You got about a 3-yard out, about a 6-yard out, and then maybe even a fly, or a go route on the edge. But it seems to be working pretty efficiently here in the fourth quarter.
Back to pass, pump fake once. Boucher scrambles over to the near side, trying to keep the play alive, and he's going to throw an interception. He got hit as he threw it, and a big interception there for the defensive lineman, Cameron Bolfordson, who's able to come up with the interception, and that will all but do it here inside the Dome on homecoming night. Braylon throws his first interception of the evening, just trying to keep the play alive, and in the end, it backfires, and Vermillion will set up camp. First down and 10 at the 29-yard line with 3:14. For Milbank, they know it's over with. Probably I don't know if they'll even use any timeouts to stop this clock. Just get out of the Dome and make the tough trip back to Milbank. Still a great season ahead for them, though. But they're going to need to find some wins throughout the rest of the season as well. Have Sisseton, Aberdeen, Roncalli, a few more teams left on their schedule. Chapman gets right back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more. Now Vermillion does need to pick up a couple first downs to officially get out of the Dome with the victory and not give it back to the Milbank Bulldogs.
I think with no timeouts called, they get away with 1 first down.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing there.
I don't think quite on this play. But
yeah, first down certainly is needed. Second down and 10. the 29-yard line. Hayden Christopherson is going to go underneath center with the blitz that is coming by Milbank, working the clock as low as they can. Hand it off to Chapman, who will go right up the middle. And Chapman will pick up 4 yards, bring up 3rd down and 6. 33 carries for Chapman tonight for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Vermillion Tanagers. And with 210, and you know what, give a lot of credit as well to Mick Thompson. We see some of these coaches that try really hard to just try to force something with the team, and he knows he's been out-coached, and he's going to be a young coach that's going to have a lot of success with this team over the years. Look forward to continuing to watch his career with the Bulldogs. But, again, just saying, hey, guys, this is one that we're going to have to regroup and try to figure things out. As Chapman is able to get up all the way to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 12 yards, and with that, it will be enough not only for a 1st down, but also enough for Vermillion to come out, take a few knees. They'll probably hand it off a couple more times, but enough to finish off this clock and get out of the dome with a victory. Fans, by the way, we will have a post-game show. We'll take a look at the final game numbers. We'll also get you some scores from across the state of South Dakota, as again, with this early start time, majority of the games kind of at their halfway point at the moment. But again, we'll have plenty coming up for you here on the post-game show. 20-0, the Vermillion Tanagers lead it over the Milbank Bulldogs. This will be a handoff to Chapman going right underneath center. So Spencer, Cole, you two will be back here inside the Dakota Dome tomorrow. It'll be my first weekend off in quite some time. The question is, do I stick around and cause trouble with Cole Larsh after the football game tomorrow, or do I head back to Nimke Farms and play farmer for a few days?
I don't know. Are you too old to come call color for the radio station?
Such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Inside the Dakota Dome, as not only on a homecoming victory, but also in their camouflage uniforms, as Vermillion celebrates the 20-0 victory over the Milbank Bulldogs. Cole, great performance here tonight by the Vermillion Tanagers.
You're exactly right. I mean, essentially they dominated every single aspect of the game, and I think that was really good to watch up here. As you know, you look at a couple of the games, the last couple that they've played, it hasn't exactly been that way for them, and they just kind of ran the ball quite a few times.
For the Milbank Bulldogs. But again, Spencer Bealey, after what we have seen from Vermillion over the past couple of weeks, they go back to the run game instead of the pass game. Over 250 yards running. Impressive performance from them tonight.
Yeah, and it comes at a really crucial time as well. I mean, Christopherson struggling, throwing 7 picks in the last 2 games. But, I mean, to be able to lean on your run game like that, that's what great teams do. When one part of their game is not working the way that they want it to, they lean on another part, and that's exactly what Vermillion did tonight. Leaned on the running game, and it came through huge. Very, very impressed with their ability to kind of adapt to the situation and come out with a big win tonight.
Cole, it doesn't get any easier, though. Now you have number 1, Sioux Falls Christian, that is coming inside the Dakota Dome next week. And that one's going to be a very, very tough game for the Vermillion Tanagers. But again, have momentum as the Tanagers move to 2-3 on the season. Cole, we talked about it as well in that second half. A struggle to move the football offensively for the Milbank Bulldogs. What are we looking at when it comes to our final numbers on drives for the football game?
Well, I'm just trying to get their finals tallied up here, so if you give me about 30 more seconds, I'll get that to you.
Again, Vermillion coming up next week against Sioux Falls Christian. Joe Van Gore will be back with us here in the broadcast booth, as Joe Van Gore will be along with Cole Larsh for the broadcast. As actually, I will be taking the night off. I'm not having any football game coming up next Friday. get me a little bit prepared on other things coming up. But again, pregame begins at 6 o'clock with the kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Cole, those final numbers.
Yeah, final numbers first for the second half. First for Milbank, 17 plays, 35 yards, 6 minutes and 28 seconds time of possession for them. For Vermillion, 32 plays, 146 yards offensively, 17 minutes and 34 seconds total time of possession. For the ball game, Milbank ran 46 plays, just 120 positive yards of offense, 20 minutes flat time of possession. For the Vermillion Tanagers, 59 plays, 312 yards for them, 28 minutes flat in that ball game. Again, your final score, Vermillion 20, Milbank 12. Big homecoming win for the Tanagers.
Before we say goodbye here on the broadcast, taking a look at the final game numbers, or I should say the final scores from across the state of South Dakota on what is going on. Again, a lot of scores not final just because of all the games that are going on, but Cole, what do you have for us this evening?
Yeah, we'll start with 9B, or actually AAA, and we'll work our way up. Roosevelt defeated Brookings 26-21. Jefferson over O'Gorman 34-14. Brandon Valley leads Rapid City Central 49-0. Harrisburg leads Stevens 28-0 in AAA. In AA, T area Blanks Mitchell 54-0. Spearfish leads Huron at the half 7-0. Watertown leads Douglas at the half 27-0. And Yankton leads Pierre at the half 21-0. We move down to 11A. Mobridge Pollock over Bellefouche 28-6. Del Rapids leads Tri-Valley 24-6. That's just before halftime. Lennox leads Dakota Valley 20-6, 4 minutes before halftime. Sioux Falls Christian leads Madison 35-0 at the half. Rapid City Christian leads Hot Springs 38-0 at the half. And just before halftime, West Central leads number 3 Canton 28-14. As we move down to 11B, Mount Vernon Plankton leads Chamberlain 32-6. That is at halftime. Roncalli over Webster 14-0, 2 minutes left to go in the half. Bridgewater Emory Ethan over Baltic 40-0 at the half. Winner over Miller Highmore Herald 42-0, 8 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Elk Point Jefferson leads Beresford 13-0, start of the third quarter. And Sioux Valley leads Dual 28-7 at the half. Parker leads McCook Central Montrose 14-12 at the half. Wagner and Woonsocket Weston Springs Sanborn Central tied at 13 at the half. We move down to 9AA. TDA ACDC leads Burke 66-7. Viborg Hurley leads Garrettson 36-0. Wall over Stanley County 34-6. Hamlin defeated Redfield 59-0. Woolsey Wessington over Gregory 38-6. Hill City over Bannock County 36-8. And Parkston leads Bonham 32-0. We move down to 9A. Game went final. Started at 6 o'clock. Alcester Hudson leads Gayville Vollen 52-0. Phillip leads Joan County 20-0 at the half. Wall over Stanley County at the half 34-6. S-Line Hendricks leads Coleman Egan 30-20. 3 minutes to go in the first half there. Hanson leads Chester Area 39-13. 1 minute to go in the first quarter, according to SD Scorefeed. And Centerville leads Irene Wakana 8-6. That is at the end of the first half there. As we move down to 9B, number 4 Faulkton Area leads number 3 Sully Buttes 14-0. Hannesota leads Sioux Falls Lutheran 43-0 at the half. Any more area scores? The Centerville Irene Wakanda. And then the last score for the night, Castlewood leads Oldham Ramona Rutland 40-0. That is at the half. That's a look at scores from around the state.
One final score that we need to worry about, 20-0 here inside the Dakota Dome, as on homecoming night, the Vermillion Tanagers moved to 2-3 on the season as they get the victory over the Milbank Bulldogs. For Spencer Bewley, for Cole Larsh, when it comes to high school Friday Night Lights for the Vermillion Tanagers, we're back with you coming up again next Friday at 6 o'clock with Joe Van Gore and Cole Larsh. I'll have the pregame show for you again as Vermillion takes on Sioux Falls Christian. Until then, go celebrate this one. Have some fun, Tanager fans, as again Vermillion gets the victory over the Milbank Bulldogs. Until next week, have yourself a wonderful and safe and fun weekend.